It's a 7-6A matchup tonight here at Ellis Stadium in Irving. We welcome you out. Highland Park takes on the Irving Tigers tonight. Scots come in with a 3-0 record. The Tigers come in 1-1. We've got the pregame show coming up next.
The customer service is really unparalleled. I've never seen anything like it with any other company.
The emblem, it just says a lot. It means, hey, I bought from Sewell.
They listened to what I had to say and actually cared about my experience.
Every once in a while, you want to be spoiled, and Sewell does that.
It's not just a transaction. That's the thing about Sewell.
I will always drive a Sewell.
Discover our wide variety of new and certified pre-owned vehicles at Sewell Cadillac or SewellCadillac.com.
Determination on the field breeds determination in life. Discipline needed on the court will be the same discipline that gets the job done. That's why Tailwater Capital is a proud supporter of the Highland Park Athletic Program, the winningest athletic program in the state of Texas. 11 Lone Star Cups, 112 state championships, and a commitment to excellence that serves its players for a lifetime. From the locker room to the boardroom, Scots find a way.
In the end, it's not the politician that builds this country. It's the entrepreneur, carrying the world's largest economy on their shoulders, putting Americans back to work. Really, they're the only ones who ever could. We've always been the entrepreneur's bank for the century behind and the century ahead. Vista Bank. Entrepreneurs banking entrepreneurs since 1912.
Well, for just the 8th time ever, the Highland Park Scots will take on the Irving Tigers tonight from Ellis Stadium. It'll be the first time they've played since 1974, so it's been a long time since the Scots and Tigers have tangled on a football field. We welcome you into the press box along with Jim Castellaw and Jay Ellis. I'm Russell Scott, and you know, the Scots had such a big game last week. There was so much going on. Coach Allen moving up on the winning list as far as number of wins. Matthew Stafford's jersey retired, the start of district play. How hard is it going to be to come back after such a big Friday night to get back to just kind of regular football?
Well, I think that's everybody's concern. Coaches in particular have made it a point all week long to say, hey, guys, we're going to play our game. We're going to worry about what we do, not about who we're playing, not about what their record's been the past 2 or 3 years. And that's always a struggle because you can say that all you want, but you know, a lot of times that starts to seep in. And yeah, on top of that, the fact that 2 weeks after a bye week, the Scots got Jesuit rolling into Highlander Stadium. So I think it's a legitimate concern, but I think the coaches have done a good job getting the kids ready to play for tonight.
Scots played a terrific game last week, scored 52 on Lake Highlands to win that game, and despite all of the extra things that were going on. What'd you like about that game last week?
Well, you know, it's a great point and a segue from what Jim said. These kids, they played the game. It's early in the season. They're excited about playing it again tonight. But last week, everything seemed to work. You know, we were throwing the ball great. Storr was finding his receivers. Those receivers were battling and taking the ball away when it was a challenge and they were outrunning people. And Storr and his running backs were running the ball as well. So offensively, you got to give all that credit. I think the offensive line. Defensively, Highland Park did what they've been doing this season. They had multiple players. There were probably 18 or 19 people playing with more or less the first group and making big plays. And that's the formula for this team. It's been the formula for this program.
5 touchdown passes for Brennan Storer last week, only the second time he's done that in 2 varsity seasons. From what you saw from Highland Park last week, what can they build on, or what did you like about what you saw?
Well, I like you guys, I know felt the same way. I was just incredibly impressed with Brennan Storer. I mean, he's a little bit flown under the radar, and it's kind of hard to do when you're the quarterback at Highland Park, but he has very quietly come in and just been lights out. His touch passes are right on the money. His underneath passes are great. Last week he had an 82% completion percentage, and the fact he's getting the ball not just to 1 or 2 favorite guys, but 5 different guys with touchdowns, that makes it incredibly difficult for the defense and the defense coordinator who you're going against. Who do you take away? Who do you cover? There's somebody else going to step up and be right there. So Storer, and the fact that the offensive line has given him plenty of time to do what he needs to do.
Storer, by the way, likely goes over 1,000 yards passing in tonight's contest. Look on the other side of the ball, Irving Tigers, a program that has been down the last several years. They've got David Munoz in, who's the head coach now. Won 3 games last year. He really feels like maybe he's starting to turn the corner. Had a chance to catch up with him and just find out his thoughts on where his program is and what he wants to do tonight.
You know, our priority right now is just Irving Tiger football. We're not worried about anybody else, but our kids are coming along nicely. The culture is night and day from the year I took over, coming to our second year. The kids are figuring out the system. They're figuring out the expectations. They're figuring out our norms. They're figuring out the day-to-day operations on how to respond, how to act, how to be football players. And so I'm very pleased at where we are right now. Obviously, we're not where we want to be yet, but we're heading the right direction.
Has it been hard to, you came in and you're trying, as you said, change the culture. Has that been a challenge for you?
I think it's always a challenge. I think kids are kids, and I think that the kids aside, changing policies, overhauling, we overhauled our master schedule. We were making a lot of changes here that our administration and the school district has supported in order for our kids to be successful. And so it's not only the kids, but it takes a lot of the adults to support us to get things done.
Well, great. I'm glad you're kind of seeing some progress and getting it turned around. Tell me a little bit about those first 2 games you played. You had a loss, but then last week you had a nice win over South Garland. You had to feel good about that, I would think.
Yeah, we got thrust in a situation early on with our personnel. So we had to make some changes. We're kind of still feeling out what the kids can and cannot do. We had some youth at quarterback specifically. We're starting a sophomore quarterback right now. And it took him a little bit to figure it out. He's still figuring it out. It took a little bit for our coaching staff to realize what he can and cannot do.
That is David Munoz. He is the head coach of the Irving Tigers. We'll take a timeout on our JSX pregame show. When we come back, we'll hear from the head coach of the Highland Park Scots. Stick around. It's pregame for Highland Park and Irving.
When I think Lexus, I automatically think Sewell.
When I look at a license plate that says just Lexus, I'm like, oh, that's good for you. When I see a Sewell on it, I'm like, you know what I know. I show up and I have my crew with me. They acknowledge me and they acknowledge my children, maybe give them a high five.
You get more than you expect. You get the wow factor at Sewell.
Discover our wide variety of new and L-certified Lexus vehicles at Sewell Lexus.
With almost 100 offices across the state of Texas and 50 of them in the DFW area alone, Capital Title is here to serve you. Made by Texans, for Texans. Capital Title is the largest independent title company in the United States. We are Dallas-born, Dallas-based, and family-owned. We support the Highland Park Scots.
It's the Baker Brothers replay. Team Baker Brothers really stopped that running toilet in its tracks. No more running toilets.
Now that's what I call a bathroom break.
Okay, Jimmy.
Call now to get this month's great deal from Baker Brothers.
Private jet perks at airline prices. That's JSX, a proud supporter of the Highland Park Scots and our pregame sponsor. Well, we heard from the opponent, head coach. Now let's hear from Randy Allen, the head coach of the Highland Park Scots.
We're joined now by Highland Park head coach Randy Allen. And, Coach, great win the other night. But before we get into that, the game itself, let's talk a little bit about the ceremony at halftime. You had to be very pleased with Matthew Stafford and his whole family coming back to be inducted in the Ring of Honor and have his jersey retired.
Well, it meant a lot that Matthew went to a lot of trouble to get here. He played Thursday night. He practiced Friday morning, and then he got on a plane at 2 o'clock in L.A. with his wife and 4 children and his mother, and flew to Dallas or Love Field, and then showed up at Highland Park about 6:30. And from what I understand from my wife and son and daughter, they had a great reception. They got to see a lot of their friends from the 2005 state championship team that they hadn't seen in a long time. And so they had a great reception. And they came across the street at Grassmere into the stadium, and then were introduced. And the crowd was electric with excitement and appreciation for Matthew and all he means to our community. And he got a framed jersey, a commemorative football, and a plaque that will go in the foyer of the stadium. And he's the second player in the history of Highland Park to have his jersey retired, Doak Walker being the only other Highland Park Scot that had his jersey retired. So it was a great night, and the victory on top of that added icing on the top of a cake.
Yeah, and it had to surprise even you, all the little kids who weren't born even when Matthew won the state championship here, that were just giddy to see him. And I know that he signed a lot of autographs before he got out of here after the ceremony.
He did. He waited outside the bus, and for 25 minutes he signed autographs. And the people inside the bus were on him to get in the bus so they could leave for the airport. But he was that way as a player. When we went to Gore Park to celebrate the 2005 state championship game, there was a long, long line of people to get his autograph, and he stayed till the very end to give his autograph, and he did the same thing the other night. He was real kind, and he just has got away with little kids. He just loves kids and loves his own 4 daughters, but he loves other kids too.
Well, it looks like that you and him still have a very special
27th game. He won his 427th game last week. Head coach Randy Allen moves up to number 2 all-time winningest head coach in Texas high school football. We'll take a break. When we come back, we're going to get you set for Highland Park and Irving. They meet tonight here at Ellis Stadium. Keys to a victory for the Scots coming up next.
The customer service is really unparalleled. I've never seen anything like it with any other company.
The emblem, it just says a lot. It means, hey, I bought from Sewell.
They listened to what I had to say and actually cared about my experience.
Every once in a while, you want to be spoiled, and Sewell does that.
It's not just a transaction. That's the thing about Sewell.
I will always drive a Sewell.
Discover our wide variety of new and certified pre-owned vehicles at Sewell Cadillac or SewellCadillac.com.
Our name, Residential Capital Partners, reflects who we are and how we treat our customers. At Residential Capital Partners, we are dedicated to helping our customers build wealth through real estate. Residential Capital Partners, America's private lender.
We live in a country that's been forged from all walks of life. The values of the American cowboy and the coat of the West have stood the test of time. They're ingrained into who we are and who we strive to be. Cavenders, this is how we live.
Show brought to you by JSX Airlines. They are now flying nonstop to Boulder, Colorado, and to Las Vegas. So you guys,
you just came home from Las Vegas,
and I didn't know they were flying there. I could have taken that jet.
Would cut you a deal.
That's true. We got Irving and we've got Highland Park coming up tonight. And one of the things we talked a little bit about is how do you not let this be a surprise game. You had that big ceremony and all last week.
Right.
You've got Jesuit coming up for your next game in 2 weeks. I thought you had a great question for defensive coordinator Bobby Leidner, and that was, how do you keep your players from getting overconfident going into a game like this?
So our theme this week that we came up with was leaders lead. Okay. And I said I want to take that a couple different ways. One, right now you're leaders in the district.
Yeah.
And so act like it. Why do we want to go out and have a setback?
Right.
And I pointed out all the college football games that happened this weekend in which an underdog upset somebody, even A&M, as hard as that was for me.
Right.
I said, I pointed that out. I said, the leadership of Texas A&M, on what I have read, had said they had a lazy, lackadaisical practice week.
Right.
And they were not intent on what they were doing. And I said, here's the thing. We only have 2 days of work before 2 real days of practice. Today we kicked the field, but we only have 2 real days of practice to get everything in that we need to get in. I said, you leaders need to lead.
Yeah.
You guys that are seniors that are the captain and player committee, you need to lead. And I said, seniors, you guys need to lead. Today we brought up to them, Coach Easton brought up a great point. He said, after tomorrow, we will have played 40% of our season. Of our district.
Isn't that incredible?
We're already 40. And I said, senior, be a leader and lead. We felt like a little bit
some great questions there for defensive coordinator Bobby Leidner, who is just really very well. Let's go back and look at some of the highlights from last week's game, because we've talked to Scott's. They roll up a lot of offense. They got good play from their quarterback. In fact, Brennan Storr tonight likely goes over 1,000 yards passing. He threw for 5 touchdowns just last week, as a matter of fact.
There's a big catch right there by Luke Herring on the post route, and then another one right here by
Jackson. Guys can do so. Even if they're not necessarily wide open, he knows where to put the ball, put it out in front of him, put it up high, put it on the back shoulder, and he's doing a great job of it.
And an interesting fact that Coach Allen brought up, 4 of his touchdowns were caught by receivers with 1 foot in bounds or in the end zone. So he's putting it exactly where it needs to be, so only his receiver can catch it.
Now, you don't do any of this if your offensive line isn't playing well.
Exactly.
Old offensive line coach, what'd you think of them?
I thought they did a good job. They're getting better and better. I tell you what, I think what's helping them going against our own defense, because our own defense defense is good up front, and they're making them better.
How about our defense? Had a couple of sacks last week, and defense looked really good.
Yeah, we had a turnover on an interception by Carl Williams, a couple of sacks, a lot of quarterback pressures. We had a safety. We had a lot of great plays. But again, I think it's about the numbers of people that are contributing. You know, if you can keep fresh like the Highland Park defense does, and you can go full speed, it gives you a much better chance to stop even a good offense like Highland.
And Russell, Jay won't say it, but one of those big hits on defense was Judge Ellis, who really popped the quarterback, leading to that safety, and set the tone for the whole night.
That's one of those that'll be in the highlight package at the end of the season. You know that's going to happen.
There's Jay Cox pounding into the end zone.
And, you know, Highland Park does it pretty equally well. I mean, they throw more than they run, but they're able to run the ball in if they need to.
Well, I think we may see a lot more of the running game tonight, just to say, okay, we're not going to rely totally on the passing game. We can hit you on both fronts.
Did you ask Coach Allen if he thought about putting Matthew Stafford in for just a play or two?
That's right. And number 7, nobody'd notice.
Exactly.
They would. I think that would be a great idea. Brennan Storr, interesting enough, said, I was a little concerned they were going to make me take off the jersey at halftime and put on another one.
You know, there's no guarantee that Matthew would have thrown those balls where they could catch them with one foot in.
That's right.
By the way, Matthew Stafford has allowed Brennan to continue the season wearing number 7, so he won't have to change numbers through the middle of the season. Got any special keys to the game? Or I know you talked to some of the players about what they thought about the Irving Tigers and what they wanted to see done tonight.
Well, Irving is a team that runs 65% of the time. They have a sophomore quarterback by the name of Connor Martin, who is 6'5" and about 220, and he's a load, and he can run the ball. And they're going to run the option. You don't see a lot of teams nowadays run the option as much as Irving's going to, but it's going to be it's a offense where you have to, everybody's got a set responsibility. One guy's got quarterback, one guy's got pitch, one guy's got lead blocker, and you got to do your job or you run into trouble down the road. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Scots defense handles that and if Irving can get going. Again, what Irving wants to do is run the ball and shorten the game. And that's what we need to look for, I think. Highland Park offense can make that a moot point by putting points on the board like they've done.
And I know you talked to some of the players about that. Who'd you talk to?
Had some real good visit with center Andrew Maroulis, quarterback Brendan Storr, the kind of the center of the Highland Park offense, along with outside linebacker William White.
Well, I think we're going to go to those player interviews right now. No, we're going to wrap up. We've got the game coming up just around the corner, so we're going to send you down to the sideline. We're going to move up a little bit closer right here.
And after the game, if any parents want to see the keys to the game from the players and see if they're right, we'll meet them at Banditos and do that.
There you go. Hey, that's going to wrap it up for our JSX pregame show. As they take off, we're about to take off as well. We've got all the play-by-play coming up. It's Highland Park and Irving from Ellis Stadium here in Irving. Game gets underway after this.
When I think Lexus, I automatically think Sewell.
When I look at a license plate that says just Lexus, I'm like, oh, that's good for you. When I see a Sewell on it, I'm like, you know what I know. I show up and I have my crew with me. They acknowledge me and they acknowledge my children, maybe give them a high five.
You get more than you expect. You get the wow factor at Sewell.
Discover our wide variety of new and L-certified Lexus vehicles at Sewell Lexus.
Conveniently located between Lovers Lane and University Boulevard on Preston Road. Not Just Soccer is locally owned and has served the Highland Park community for youth sports equipment needs since 1989. Whether you're looking for soccer, football, basketball, baseball, volleyball, or lacrosse equipment, they carry it all, and they take pride with specialists in each sport, and in many circumstances, you'll be helped by a current Highland Park athlete. Go Scots!
At a service culture, and I don't think there's anybody in our company that believes otherwise. Everybody understands that our mission is to take care of families.
And I think what makes me the most proud is how many families and lives we have actually touched. We've been so impactful for so many people, and in different ways of their lives, and in ways we couldn't necessarily anticipate.
Our name, Residential Capital Partners, reflects who we are and how we treat our customers. At Residential Capital Partners, we are dedicated to helping our customers build wealth through real estate. Residential Capital Partners, America's private lender.
We see you, early riser, paying the price, making your move. We see you because we are you. Entrepreneurs banking entrepreneurs. As one of the few Texas banks participating in the Main Street Lending Program, Vista Bank is helping small businesses put America back to work. Isn't it time you join the over 1,500 new PPP clients and make your move to a bank that hustles as hard as you do? Vista Bank. People first.
Presented by Inwood National Bank.
I'm a link in the chain. I am a link in the chain.
I am a link in the chain.
I'm 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 a link in the chain.
I am a link in the chain.
I am a link in the chain.
I'm a link in the chain.
I'm a link in the chain. I'm a link in the chain.
I'm a link in the chain.
When you play one of us, you play all of us.
The National Weather Service has issued a severe thunderstorm warning.
Can you feel that? Yeah! It's time to bring the make the ground shake when we come. Come on! Touchdown! Come on! He's got it! Touchdown, Highland Park! Let's go! Let's go! Yeah, we gon' rain. Time! Go! Go time! Go! Go! Go time!
Well, we're just minutes away from kicking off tonight's game. It's Highland Park and Irving playing for the first time since 1974. It'll actually be their 8th meeting, but obviously it's been a while since these two teams have played. And now, this year and next year at least, they'll be in the same district. And for Highland Park, this will be game number 4. For the Irving Tigers, this is going to be game number 3. They were off last week, so this will be their first district game of the year. Tigers come in 1-1. They lost to Pascal 16-7 in their season opener. Last week, they went to and beat Garland High School 33-21. And let's pause right now for the national anthem. 3-0. They defeated Marcus 38-24 in week 1. Louisville they beat 31-17. And last week in the district lid lifter.
There you go.
That's tricky to say, isn't it? It was a 52-21 win over Lake Highlands, and really done it all around, offense and defense. And really putting things together.
Yeah, and I really think that Lake Highlands is, in my opinion, a better team than they looked the other night. I think the Scots, the way they played, though, really just jumped down their throat, and Lake Highlands had no answer for it. But this is what you want to do, though. You want to keep getting better as a team, regardless of who you're playing. And the Scots have a chance tonight against Irving to go out and show that they, coaches can't twist the kids to get them ready every game. You only got so many of those in you every season, and this is a game where the players themselves are going to have to get themselves up and get themselves motivated to go out and do the job they need to do to win the game.
Well, Highland Park comes into the game. They won the coin toss, but they've decided that they will kick off to start this game. Weather forecast for tonight, it's going to be nice. Our temperature will be in the 70s most of the night. Winds are expected to be light and variable throughout the evening, but we will start off with 85 degrees and a bit of humidity here at Ellis Stadium. Our pregame weather kickoff brought to you by Peggy Sue's Market, fine Texas barbecue since 1951, and now available inside New York Subs. That's Peggy Sue's Market and fine Texas barbecue.
And one thing you did mention about the weather, when that sun sinks, that's in our eyes right now, sinks below that press box, in about 5 minutes, everybody on the Highland Park side is gonna say, now we're ready for some football.
There you go. Highland Park's got it teed up. Highland Park's got new kicker tonight. Nicholas Regas will be doing the kicking chores for the Scots, and he's got it teed up. Deep to do the return chores, number 9 Kyle Sampson and number 25 J. Brian Broussard will do the return chores for the Tigers. Our kickoff tonight brought to you by Davidson Bogle Real Estate. Land is their business.
And let's start some Thursday night football from Irving.
Scots tonight in the light jerseys, the gold pants with the blue stripe down the side and the dark blue helmets. It's going to be a short end kick. Broussard from the 14-yard line. He'll bring it out across the 20, near the 25-yard line before he's going to get knocked down right around the 25. That's where the Tigers will start their offense tonight. The Scots defense, let's take a look at them real quick. And for Highland Park up on that defensive line, they're going to start with Spencer Brown and Kyle Carlson at the defensive end positions. Lewis Montgomery will be in the middle at nose tackle. Linebackers tonight for Highland Park, Charlie Barton and William White on the outside. Inside backers, Adam Rourke, Wes Giese, Brady Dutrieve, and Carl Williams at safeties. Swing pass out to Sampson in the flat right side. He'll turn it up corner and pick up about 6, maybe 7 yards.
It's like Will Giese in coverage over there. That's a nice, easy pass to start with. Get your quarterback a little bit to feeling good. Just a bubble screen out to the right side. Easy one to complete. Nobody out there covering him. And it kind of gets the offense started. Let's see if the Highland Park defensive line put some pressure on Connor Martin.
2nd down and 3 now for the Tigers. The sophomore quarterback's going to run it himself. He's trying to find a seam, and Highland Park's not going to give him one. Among those in on the tackle for Highland Park was Henry Richter, and I believe that was Judge Ellis who was in there as well for the Scots. And again, Highland Park, even though we name starters, they flow in and out. Linebackers and those 3 defensive linemen will change out pretty regularly throughout the evening.
Well, defense coordinator Bobby Leitner says we've got 18 starters because they got another 7 guys who play enough, just as much as the starters do. So you'll see any one of those guys.
3rd down and 2 coming now with the ball spotted from the 33-yard line. They'll send a man in motion. That's Iden Hills. He'll set. Now they'll turn. Hand it off. A little bit of a communication on the handoff. Quarterback turning one way, the running back turning the other way. That was Aiden Benavidez on the carry. Adam Rourke and Charlie Barton get in there to make the tackle. Loss of 2 will bring 4th down and likely a punting situation coming up right here. Patrick Banach will come in to kick it away.
Well, not a clean exchange right there. Quarterback turned the wrong way, or the back rotated the wrong way. Anyway, there was a slowness to the exchange, allowed the Highland Park defense to get in and shut down Irving quickly.
Boy,
bad
the snap is bad. The punter's going to go back, pick it up inside the 10-yard line.
Oh.
He's going to get his feet clipped out from under him right around the 11 or 12-yard line, and Highland Park's going to start with terrific field position. Credit Cormac Carroll with doing a great job of getting back there and corralling the punter who was trying to run with it.
Well, there you see the center snap, rolls the ball back to the punter effectively, goes right between his legs, and that's a nightmare for a punter right there. You'd really rather have it down on the ground than over your head, but still he couldn't play shortstop and come up with it fast enough, and Scott's opened up with tremendous field position in the red zone.
Here we go. Highland Park on offense for the first time tonight. The Scots will start in the Shelby American red zone. Handoff's going to go to Jay Cox. Gets bumped at the line of scrimmage and finds his way all the way down into the end zone. It's a touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown run for Jay Cox. And the Scots, one running play, one touchdown.
Well, nice job right there. The Scots, as you said, Russell, in the two-back set. And they come with a little zone dive off to the right side. Got some great blocking over there from Whit Basso, Maroulis, and Robert Sweeney to clear open the hole, and Cox bounces it outside and then sprints to the corner to the pylon for the touchdown. We'll get the replay here in just a minute.
Extra point coming up right here, and it's up and on the way, and Jake Tansey is true. Hadn't missed a PAT all season long. He's now 16 of 16. That extra point brought to you by Brett Kennedy and Peter McGuire with Kensington Vanguard National Title.
See if we can get a look at that replay here in just a minute.
It's pretty much the way you want to get something like this started, isn't it?
Yep. Scoring drive was when one play for 12 yards after the block punt. That scoring drive recap brought to you by Stewart Partners Global Advisory. Land is their business.
Well, we're told we're going to get a look at this. Our monitor here in the booth has gone out, so we'll assume you're getting another look at it right there.
Right.
And Highland Park is
what a start, though.
Yeah. The mistake made by the Irving Tigers, a bad snap. They weren't going to do a whole lot with it on a bad snap, even if they pick it up and run it another 5 yards. But Highland Park doing a nice job of slowing them down, and then the offense doing a great job of capitalizing off the turnover.
And if you're a team like Irving, you just can't afford mistakes like that. Those will kill you. They're fighting an uphill battle anyway, and you can't give a team like Highland Park an easy one-play touchdown and expect to stay in the game.
Nick Regas from the left hash mark will do the kicking chores, and again it's going to be Broussard and Sampson back to do the return. Kicks up and on the way. Broussard's going to take this from the 9-yard line. Finds a little bit of a seam to the 20, 25, and out near the 27-yard line.
And that's number 26, Russell Barrett Denton, coming in to make the play. Barrett does a great job. Plays a lot in the secondary, but coming up to make that hit. And I think I credited his dad with relaying some of that athletic ability. I need to give credit to his mom too, because how do I know? Maybe it's the mom, but Barrett Denton doing a great job.
7-0. Second offensive series for the Tigers here. They're going to turn, hand it off, and this is going to be Benavidez. He's going to get strung out, taken down the line, and will lose yards. That's going to be a -2. And second down and long now coming up for the Irving Tigers.
Irving has some big boys on the offensive line. The Scots have seen this before this year. Center David Guzman, 6'3", 300 pounds. Right tackle Reuben Smith, number 76, is 6'4", 330. Hear that again, 6'4", 330. Big boys up front of the offensive line. Highland Park defensive ends going to have to hold their own.
There we go on second. And again, this is going to be a handoff over left guard, left tackle, and again Benavidez on the carry. Majority of the carries tonight are going to be Connor Martin, their quarterback, and Aiden Benavidez, their running back. You get another look at it right here and how Highland Park
Charlie
gets
Barton.
in there and comes up and makes a tackle. That's Charlie Barton?
That's Jack Morris coming up making the play. My mistake. Jack Morris, the sophomore. You might remember his brother Sam played for the Scots a few years back, but Jack Morris really impressing the coaches, doing a great job when he comes in at that linebacker spot. Watch the double fire in the middle for the Scots defense.
Third down and long.
Oh.
That's going to be an incomplete. And fourth down coming up again and again. This is where the Tigers had problems a moment ago with a bad snap and set Highland Park up on a first down from the 12-yard line.
And again, Highland Park putting pressure on Irving, see if they can handle it. And the two inside backers running a fire stun into the A-gaps on both sides really discombobulated the Irving quarterback and caused him to overthrow the receiver out there. Brings up 4th and 28.
Patrick Banish to kick it away. This time he gets a good snap. It's a high knuckleball, and it's going to be fielded right there at the 41-yard line by Jay Cox. And we'll see for the second time the Highland Park offense. This time they'll start on their own side of the 50-yard line. And let's see what they can do right here after the 31-yard punt. Brennan Storer starts at quarterback. Let's take a look at that offensive line for the Scots. Andrew Marula starts at center. You've got Jake Watts and Whit Basso are in there at guards. And then you've got Lawson Petty and Robert Sweeney starting at the offensive tackle positions tonight. Behind Brennan Storer will be Jay Cox, and then the four wide receivers, Luke Herring and Grayson Schrank off to the left, and Bo Lilly and Jackson Heiss in there as well. First pass is going to be to Jay Cox out of the backfield, and he'll catch it, turn it up, get pushed out right at the 46-yard line. Second down, Highland Park.
And if you've been asleep for the last 3 weeks, pay attention to Jay Cox, because he floats out of the backfield and becomes basically a fifth wideout receiver. Makes it very difficult on the defense. Normally, when he's in the backfield, a linebacker has to cover him, and that's a losing proposition.
This time it's going to be the quarterback. That's Brennan Storer who will run with it. He's got a first down and more. Look at him go. The big quarterback's up the left side, outside of the numbers, and finally escorted out near the 10-yard line. That's Carson Niesler, who took him out of bounds finally, but boy, this thing develops a little bit slowly, but a 40-yard run is what it turns into.
Good block out in front early on by Lawson Petty, but it's the Pluto play. You fake the stretch wide, draw the defense. Quarterback pulls the ball out of the belly of the back, and he heads right up the middle for a huge gain.
This trip into the red zone sponsored by Shelby Automotive. Here's a pass into the end zone. It's going to be... Did he catch it? No, it's going to be an incomplete pass intended for Luke Herring. The numbers for your wide receivers. Luke Herring has caught 10 passes, 186 yards this year, 3 touchdowns. Grayson Schrank, 8 catches, 108 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jackson Heiss, 10 for 243 and a couple of scores. And Bo Lilly's caught 5 for 64. They're going to go back into the end zone one more time. And no flag on that. Well, the defensive back had Luke Herring by the jersey. No flag. It's going to be third down coming up right here, I guess.
He was pulling him down. Looks like offsides against Irving is going to be called. Maybe they whistle that play dead. Irving jumped offside. I bet that was a free play. Just throw it up. When I saw it, I thought that's Storer releasing the ball very early, but that's what you would do on a free play where the defense jumps and you got a chance to throw it up in the end zone, see if you can get a touchdown out of it. But at least you'll get an offsides penalty, which is what Irving got hit with.
First penalty of the game right there gives Highland Park second down and 5. Ball spotted down at the 9-yard line. They'll swing it out to Jay Cox. He's going to outrun everybody to the corner of the end zone. No problem for the Highland Park running back. Our touchdown brought to you by Bob Lilly Promotions, proudly supporting HP Scots since 1999.
Great improvisation by quarterback Brennan Storer. He tries to come out to the left right here on the we'll get the replay after the extra.
First hands.
There you can take a look at this replay when it comes up. It's brought to you by Russ. Watching. Scott's come with the option to the left. Storr can't get the ball out through his right on his left hand, so he puts it in his right hand and throws a short little pass. Great improvisation. Jay Cox easily scores at the pylon.
Let's take a look at that drive recap real quickly for Highland Park. 4 plays, 59 yards. It only took them 33 seconds to get into the end zone. That drive recap brought to you by Stewart Partners Global Advisory. Land is their business. Boy, so the 2 scoring drives for Highland Park have gone 45 seconds for 2 scoring drives. No, combined.
Oh, okay. Now,
42 seconds. I believe Pat Sauer's got a special guest as we're going to go down to the sideline and check in with
Pat's
Pat.
always got a special guest.
Hey guys, I've got the principal at the high school. Introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Jeremy Gilbert. So glad to be on with you guys tonight.
Yeah, so Jeremy's been in the school district for quite a few years at higher and then the middle school. And how long you been at HB High School?
This is my 3rd year at the high school.
Yeah, I love seeing you out here and the enthusiasm. Tell them a little bit about the relationship with the kids and what it means to you as their principal.
Well, you know, I love all my Scots the same. I just may have known some of them a little bit longer. For example, today I was talking to Brennan, our quarterback, and I was reminding him about the time when he was in 4th grade. I had to pull him off the playground because he was getting too hard on the guys for not running the right plays. And to see him out here now just running this game, it's been awesome.
So he was a coach on the playground too, and now a coach on the field.
Absolutely. Just all these guys out here, just to see them grow up and represent the Scots, realizing their goals. It's been fantastic to be a small part of that.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Honor to be here.
Yeah, we appreciate having you, and back to you guys.
Go Scots.
Thank you very much. That kickoff, by the way, brought to you by Davidson Bogle Real Estate. Land is their business. Out of the back of the end zone, so they bring it to the 25, and that's where the Tigers will start. They have started in negative territory on all 3 of their drives now, and the pitch goes around the right side. They're going to pick up some yardage right here. It's going to be their longest offensive play of the night, gives them their first down of the night as well. That's Carroll and Dotrieve who come in, combine on the tackle. Ball's going to go all the way out to the 25-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like Ethan Burt was a corner out there.
No, it's got to go out to the 30-yard line, right?
Ethan Burt, who's been doing a great job on special teams and as a corner out on the defensive left side, got held. And I was thinking, how can the official miss that? But it looks like he didn't. He caught it. They're going to back up Irving and put him in a hole.
Our referee tonight there in the white hat is Nat Maxson. But since we're on the visitor side, we may not always get the signal made towards us. It may take us a second or two before we can catch on to exactly what has been called.
Ellis Hummel, Richter in on the front line.
It's going to be a 1st down and 17 now. First long pass for the Tigers as they go up the right sideline. Caught but out of bounds. And so a long incompletion down there to Kyle Sampson. He's their leading receiver. He's caught 2 passes for 165 yards this season.
And Henry Richter, just with Connor Martin about two feet deep in the ground, boy, he'll feel that one because he hit him right in the gut and put him right back on his back. That's the kind that usually knocks the breath out of you. But Connor Martin, a big young man himself, again, a 6'5", 220-pound sophomore quarterback.
2nd down and long again for the Tigers. Their sophomore quarterback takes it, wants to throw right. Now he's going to tuck it and come to the near side, and he gets walloped by 4 white jerseys. Led that time by Jack Morris, but he got help from others. Adam Rourke was there. Dotrieve was over there. That's going to go for 2 yards and brings up a 3rd and long situation.
Connor Martin didn't realize he was going to attract that kind of a crowd when he runs, but he will for the Scots. Great pursuit inside out and also setting the edge out there on the corner by Adam Rourke.
Scott's opponents this season have been converting 3rd downs at a rate of 47%. Let's see what happens here on 3rd and about 15.
Carroll, we got backers blitzing up in the line. Here comes Cormac Carroll.
Quarterback's going to keep it right up the front. He's got a seam and he's got a 1st down. He finally gets hit and taken down by Brady Dotrieve, who made a nice open field tackle, but not before Connor Martin picks up the 1st down and moves the chains one more time.
And you see why Connor Martin is the starting quarterback as a sophomore. He's got great instincts, and again, he's got some speed for his size, definitely. He was able to split the Scott's defense right up the middle. Irving offensive line fanned everybody wide. He saw the hole and took it. Gets a first down for Irving.
First down that they've earned for the Tigers tonight, and they're going to go with 2 in the backfield and 2 wide receivers. There's that option play.
Yeah.
They'll hand it off, going right up the middle, and Jack Morris is right there to wrap up Aiden Benavidez. Stops him after a pickup of just a couple.
Jack Morris plugging holes with reckless abandon. Again, just a sophomore himself. Watch him step up here and make this hit. There's no question what his intent is. He's fixing to take you to the ground. Jack Morris earning more and more and more playing time.
Highlights this quarter brought to you by the Rustic. Texas food, Texas music, Texas soul. Here's a handoff and a run right up the middle. And they've gotten a little bit of a crease made for the running back with those big offensive linemen for the Tigers. And not a whole lot of running room right there. Judge Ellis and Carroll are in there on the tackle.
And just in case you're wondering, Robert Remy, the starting inside linebacker, he is out tonight. Russell, you may have mentioned that, but if not, he is out tonight and hopefully be back after the bye week.
3rd down and 6 now for the Tigers. Again from the middle of the field.
Here comes a backer, what looks like the backer fire inside. Let's see if they come or back out of it.
Noah Levy, the center, out over the football. He'll snap it back as they work from the shotgun. This time Martin wants to throw. The left-handed quarterback throws it over the head of his intended receiver, Kyle Sampson. Pressure was coming that time, and that may have been one of the reasons that he overthrew the receiver, Judge Ellis, applying the pressure that time.
Judge Ellis acted like he thought Connor Martin had some chicken wings in there, because that boy can eat chicken wings, and I'm telling you what, he put the pop on Connor Martin.
Punting situation. And again, Patrick Banich will kick it away. Jay Cox to do the return chores, and they got a problem on the snap again.
Here we go.
And this time it's going to be a fumble recovered by Highland Park as the Scots will take it over right there at the 30-yard line. That turnover supported by Dr. John Heinrich of Hilltop Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Thank you, Dr. John Heinrich of Hilltop Orthopedics, for being a part of the broadcast tonight.
Boy, right, just all kinds of problems for Irving. This time the ball hits the punter right in the hands. He still drops it, and in to make the play on the recovery, Barrett Denton again. I don't know if you guys remember what Coach Leidner said about him last week. He was responsible for a stop on 4th down against Louisville.
Here we go. It's Grayson Schrank on the inside handoff, and Schrank's going to take this all the way down to the 10-yard line or thereabouts before he's finally tugged down to the turf, and a first down for the Scots on a 20-yard run by Grayson Schrank, his longest run of the season.
Just a little slide. It's actually not a reverse. It's a pass forward. That'll count passing yardage for Brennan Storr because he pitched the ball forward to Grayson Schrank on the slot receiver reverse, coming back to the right side, the left side, and Schrank does what he does best, running the open field.
In the red zone again, brought to you by Shelby Automotive and Shelby American. Here's the pass into the end zone. That's Schrank. He made the catch. No, he's going to be out of bounds.
Well, he made the catch, just out of bounds. Well, again, what can you say about Brennan Storr on his touch, on where to put the ball? You know, a lot of times those passes are picked off because quarterbacks underthrow them. They put a little too much touch on it. Storr is really feeling where's the right spot to put it, and only his guy can catch it.
It's a great look at Storr right there on your screen as he was watching the play being signaled in. He relays it to the offense, and here we go, 4 wide receivers. This is Jay Cox.
Oh, nice
stutter step at the line of scrimmage, and he finds that way into the end zone. And in the first quarter, Jay Cox has 3 touchdowns.
And that's a hat trick for Jay Cox. Great blocking up front on the dive inside to the left. That's Jake Watts, Lawson Petty, Marulis, cleaning it out for Jay Cox, but a good stutter step you'll see here in a minute on the replay after the extra point. A good little stutter step for Cox. It looked to be clogged up just slightly. He bounced it to his left, found open room to get to the end zone.
Bob Lilly Promotions brings you that touchdown for the Highland Park Scots. Jake Tansey brings you the PAT. and it is good. He's 3 for 3 tonight, makes him 18 of 18 for the season. There's another look at Jay Cox, making that look really easy tonight.
Whenever you can get in the end zone untouched, you need to go tell your lineman, I'll buy you dinner over the weekend.
There you go. Drive recap. 3 plays, 32 yards, and it took 42 seconds. So that drive took nearly as long as the first 2 drives combined.
So the time of possession is going to be very skewed tonight.
It is. It is. Hey, by the way, the drive recap for Steward Partners, Global Advisory, Land is their business. That's Steward. Scots have scored 3 times in a minute and 24 seconds of having possession time. I'll get it out in a minute. Well,
the best thing about this is at some point here in the second half, we're going to get to see a lot of the Scots backups and see what they can do.
Here's Regas again to kick off for Davidson Bogle Real Estate. High end over end. It'll go into and out of the back of the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 25-yard line again. Let's check in with Jay Ellis real quick. We haven't heard from him. He's the 4th member of our broadcast team tonight. And Jay's report's brought to you by Willow Bend Mortgage. Jay?
Yeah, Russell, well, as you mentioned, that time of possession is a little bit misleading. Yeah, the Scots probably have that as one of their goals on their goal board to lead in time of possession. And like you said, they're going to have a hard time doing that, but it's obviously because the offense is scoring too quickly. The Highland Park offense is hitting on all cylinders. The defense is too, and it's the things we talked about. Storr putting the ball where his receivers can catch it. The line making great blocks, and Jay Cox finding the end zone every time they hand him the ball. And all those guys on the defense, we've seen, at least as Jim said, 18 guys, and every one of them in on tackles already this early in the game.
Here we go. Tigers on offense again. Pass out to Sampson, and he's going to get caught before he can go anyplace. Adam Rourke, who leads this team in tackles, comes up from the cornerback position to make the tackle. Came into the game with the team leading 25 tackles, 18 of those solo tackles.
And how fast he fires and reacts is incredible. Just a little screen out to the left, and the instant the quarterback turns his shoulders, Adam Rourke sprints up to make the play. Down on the defensive front of this series, Brown, Montgomery, and Carlson.
Loss of 2 on the play. 2nd and 12 now. Throw into the flat right side, and that's going to be caught. They're trying to turn it upfield, and they're not going to pick up much on that. The completion was made out there to Chris Sanchez, and you had a couple of linebackers combining on the tackle, Rossley and White, both there. As you see in this replay, brought to you by the Rustic.
Normally that little bubble screen is a play that you can pick up, 5 to 7 yards almost every time, but the Scots are triggering so well. And from the secondary position and also inside out from the defensive line, there's just nothing there.
Scots bring their linebackers up. They show as if they're going to blitz. Let's see if they will. On 3rd down and long.
Here they come.
There they go. Quarterback's in trouble, and they're going to be taken back. Tommy Rossley got there and wraps up quarterback Connor Martin and drops him for a big loss. And on 4th down, again, the Tigers will have to kick it away.
And Kyle Carlson was there as well to help Rossley if he needed. He did not, but great sportsmanship. Carlson helping the sophomore quarterback up off the ground after the hit.
That quarterback sack brought to you by Advantage Healthcare Systems. They are here to help traumatically injured individuals, whether hurt on the job or in some very serious accident.
Okay, will the snap be a problem again for the 3rd time? Let's see.
Managed to kick it away. He's standing inside his own 5-yard line. This time he will get the snap and he will get the kick away, and Jay Cox will retreat back to his own 46.
Here we go.
He'll bring it back to the 50. Trying to get around outside the numbers, and will get run out of bounds right about the 41-yard line. So again, Highland Park will start in Irving territory.
And Russell, Barrett Denton was within an eyelash of blocking this punt, which would have added insult to injury right there. I think he pulled off just to make sure he didn't rough the punter by accident, but in a different situation, probably Barrett Denton going to get that.
Patrick Banich punt goes 40 yards, and Jay Cox has a 14-yard return, and Highland Park will set up at the Tigers' 40-yard line.
Great field position once again.
This will be the Scots' 4th possession. Long pass, left side, downfield. They caught it. Beautiful catch there by Bo Lilly inside the 10-yard line.
Well, that's a pitch and catch, isn't it? Lilly has his defender beaten by about 2 yards, maybe 3, turned the cornerback around. Herring came inside, Lilly looped outside on a semi-wheel route, able to make the catch inside the 10, get 1 foot down. Scots are knocking on the door again.
Takes it all the way down to the 4-yard line. First and goal to go, Highland Park. 36-yard pass and catch on that last play.
Oh, yeah.
Jay Cox trying to take it in for another touchdown. This time he's going to get clipped right about the line of scrimmage. Omar Castro comes in and makes the tackle. Here's a stat for you. That's the first time Jay Cox has carried the ball tonight and not scored a touchdown.
He's going to be discouraged.
Second down. Goal to go again.
Pickleman in at left guard for the Scots. Here he goes.
There's that stretch play, and the quarterback's going to keep it. Storer got down to the 1-yard line, and then he gets bent backwards. He's a little slow to get up. Coming in there is Omar Castro to make the tackle. He's the inside linebacker.
Yep, Scott's right. Again, the Pluto play, this time coming to the right. Fake the stretch, pull it out, run up inside, and Storer is drawing the attention now of a lot of the defense. Coach Allen will come back and give it next time.
Third down. Scots will hand it off right side, and Jay Cox will get into the end zone for the 4th time tonight.
And give credit to Pickleman. Case Pickleman was in at left guard there. He pulls, kicks out, gives Cox the alleyway to score.
1-yard touchdown run for Jay Cox. His 4th of the night.
Number 4.
We've still got 40 seconds to go. Here's the extra point for Kensington Vanguard. And it's good. So it's been a good first quarter, not only for Jay Cox, but also for Jake Tansey, the kicker.
Yeah, I tell you, speaking of kickers, you can see why Regas has been brought up to the varsity. His kickoffs, both have been, or all of them have been in the end zone, and some deeper than others, but obviously he's got a leg to put it back there where it's going to be a touchback. There you see Jay Cox from field level patting in the end zone. You didn't get a chance to see Pickleman as much as I'd like to, but he had a good lead block.
Hey, don't forget, coming up at halftime tonight, we'll have our player profiles, and Jim had a chance to catch up with 3 more players this week. Who'd you talk to?
Talked to center Andrew Maroulis, outside linebacker William White, who's been playing just great lately, and also Brennan Storr, quarterback for the Scots. Great to hear the things they had to say about the Scots after week number 3 and, what they think they need to do to get where they want to be.
There's that defense, or that Regas to kick off again. This Davidson Bogle real estate kickoff will go into the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 25-yard line.
8 yards deep. It's a great kickoff. Yeah, a la Nick Rose. I think we all think if it's 8 yards deep in the end zone, that's Nick Rose.
No, he didn't kick it 8 yards. He kicked it
8 yards
out of the end zone.
Right.
40 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Highland Park up comfortable 28-0. They've scored on each of their first 4 possessions.
Well, the defensive slogan for the year is kill their will, and I think the Scots have effectively doing that right now as we watch.
Martin again out of the shotgun formation. Will hand to the first man up the middle. That's David Perez, and he'll go for a no-gainer. In on the tackle right there is going to be Jack Morse. He steps right in there and makes the tackle for stop at the line of scrimmage. Perez, that's his first carry of the night. Tigers continue to try to find something that will work, something that will move the ball. About the most successful thing that we've seen tonight is the quarterback keeper.
Yeah, the draw right up the middle by the quarterback. Scots are looking for that now. Ellis, Hummel, Richter in up front, along with Hunter Thornton at linebacker on one side.
They're not going to get it another snap in. They'll let the quarter run down, and Highland Park will take a 28-0 lead into the second quarter. There's Pat Sauer right there. Tell you what, we'll take a quick break. We come back. Second quarter gets underway after this.
Customer service is really unparalleled. I've never seen anything like it with any other company.
The emblem, it just says a lot. It means, hey, I bought from Sewell.
They listened to what I had to say and actually cared about my experience.
Every once in a while, you want to be spoiled, and Sewell does that.
It's not just a transaction. That's the thing about Sewell.
I will always drive a Sewell.
Discover our wide variety of new and certified pre-owned vehicles at Sewell Cadillac or SewellCadillac.com.
Had a service culture, and I don't think there's anybody in our company that believes otherwise. Everybody understands that our mission is to take care of families.
And I think what makes me the most proud is how many families and lives we have actually touched. We've been so impactful for so many people, and in different ways of their lives, and in ways we couldn't necessarily anticipate.
Second quarter, option. Quarterback had the chance to either hand it off. Instead, he pulls it and swings it out to the right side. It's going to go incomplete. And that was William White, who was there on the play. It was intended for Chris Sanchez.
And William White, again, he is exploding to the ball wherever he goes. Charlie Barton doing a great job on the other side along with Thornton. But William White has been impressive first 4 weeks now of the season.
Martin steps up, talks to his center momentarily. Now he steps back. He's got Perez in the backfield. Straight drop back. He'll go right across the middle. Ball's knocked in the air, and it's intercepted. Highland Park will pick it off at the 50-yard line, and guess who? Jack Morse comes down with the tipped pass, and the Scots have turned over the Tigers again. This turnover for Dr. John Heinrich of Hilltop Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
Well, look at the replay. See who tipped this up in the air. Morse was the recipient of the tip by one of his teammates. Let's see who gets it first on this replay right there. That's Williams, it looks like, tapping it in the air along with help from Rossley. And Jack Morris is the right man at the right time at the right spot. He comes up with it, and I think he's happy he's got that interception.
Carl Williams, the guy who got the tip on the pass to deflect it up and into the air. Long pass, Highland Park down inside the 10-yard line. It is caught, and it is a huge first down. Jackson Heiss. We do have a flag at the end of the play down inside the 15-yard line. It is a flag down there, is it not?
Yeah, I believe Jackson Heiss does, but a 41-yard completion from Storr to Heiss.
Now let's see if it stands or not. Officials right there talking about it. There's Nat Maxson. He's going to call pass interference, and goal to go.
Let's look at that replay right here. Good blocking up front, helped by Musa in the backfield. And Heiss gets separation, gets turned around. The defensive back is right there, but can't stop the completion.
Our replays this second quarter brought to you by Origin Bank. Defense jumped right there. This is a free play. They'll throw into the end zone, and Luke Herring can't come down with it. We've got a flag on both sides of the field, and let's see what they're going to call right here. Offsides against the
Irving.
Defense.
Yep, offside against Irving, which is what precipitated that throw into the end zone. It's going to move the ball down for Highland Park to the 5-yard line, just inside the 5. Scots are set up again to add to their point total.
Shelby American brings you this trip into the red zone. Highland Park in the red zone this season has been very successful. 91% scoring.
Got the official waving his hands off now.
It's going to be against Highland Park.
Procedure.
Somebody moved. $11:20 to play in the first half. And penalty marked off against Highland Park.
I didn't see who the penalty was on, but the Scots now going to be first and goal from just inside the 10-yard line.
Maroulis out over the football. They'll go empty set formation. Cox into the end zone. They tried to throw it to him. It's going to be incomplete. Actually intended for Jackson Heiss. And that's going to be an incomplete pass. And I believe Pat Sowers got a guest down there, one of the parents of one of the Highland Park linebackers. Pat?
Point that camera at me. Oh, there he is. Hey, I got Mike Morse here. Scots are about to punch it in again. I don't see the cameraman, but go ahead. We'll hold tight.
Into the end zone, touchdown. Yep. 5 touchdowns for Jay Cox. And Highland Park will try to tack on the PAT. Let's go down to Pat Sauer, who's got a special guest right there. Now we've got the camera on you.
I've got the booth right behind me here. I've got Mike Morse. His son Jack, who's a sophomore linebacker, just picked that ball off after they played a little tip drill. What'd you think about that play?
I thought it was a fantastic play. And, I saw him going back, and I was like, please catch it. And he caught it just right before it hit the ground. So.
Hey, but it's the ultimate team game, though. Somebody tips it up, and he goes and gets it, and then we go down and score.
100% agree. Yeah. That was a really fantastic play on everybody's part. So I was really happy to see all that happen.
Yeah. I don't think Mike had any doubt he was going to come down with it. Thanks a lot, Mike. Appreciate it. Enjoy the game.
You too. Thank you very much.
Our in-game interviews brought to you by Willow Bend Mortgage. That's a way better mortgage. That's Willow Bend. PAT's good. Scots extend their lead out 35-0, and we're going to see a lot of backups in this game.
Yeah.
And you know what? You got to kind of feel for Irving. This is a team that's been down for quite some time. They brought in David Munoz. Doesn't sound good. Considering they had 3 straight 0-win seasons.
There's that replay of Cox coming around the right side on the option play, again hitting the pylon. But yeah, like you were saying, when you think about, they had 3 offers in a row, 3 no-win seasons in a row here at Irving. The fact that Munoz, I think most of the parents at Highland Park realize that part of the winning tradition at Highland Park is the culture and the belief that whenever you go out, you're going to win. And if you don't believe that, you believe you're going to lose, it's hard to turn around. And so, I wish Munoz the best in making that change here. There's Warren Peck, who we see on the sideline warming up. I'm sure we'll see him at some point.
Back in, he's 6'5", 220.
Looks a lot like Connor Martin over on the Irving side.
And again, Connor Martin, the quarterback for the Tigers, as you watch him. Remember, he is just a sophomore. Started his first varsity game last 2 weeks ago. Here we go on a handoff. Benavides over left tackle. They'll get some push out of that. Move it all the way out near the 31-yard line. Carolyn Hunter Thornton are in there to make the tackle.
That's a big push up front from the offensive line. Again, David Guzman, number 68, over 300 pounds. Reuben Smith, over 330. If they just want to mash the ball up inside, it's difficult to stop, but it's a problem when you're 35 points down.
Guzman out over the football now. He'll set an H-back to the right side this time. 2 wide receivers. Run it right up the middle. And Benavides will squeak out another couple of yards.
You can't play
3 yards on the pickup.
You can't play that any better than William White did then. He's the outside linebacker. He stepped up on the line of scrimmage in front of the tackle. You'll see they're trying to kick him out. Watch how he stuffs the H-back right there back into the play and down to the ground. He just mashed him backwards. That's a training video right there. Great job by William White.
3rd down, very short yardage now for the Tigers.
See the Scots
again, 2 wide receivers. Again. They're 1 for 6 on 3rd down conversions. They'll get this one. Didn't get a lot, but they didn't need a lot. Push it out to the 36-yard line. Carl Williams will make the tackle for Highland Park. Benavides carried the ball for the Tigers.
Is that the 2nd first down or 3rd? 2nd. That's what I thought. 2nd earned first down for Irving. Scott's defense doing a good job.
Also like to remind you, coming up at halftime, our Madden Asset Management. We will have the Highland Park Band and, of course, the Bells. We will show you that performance.
Along with most of the player profile interviews from Marula, Storr, and William White.
Illegal shift against the offense moves them back. And now instead of 1st and 10, it's 1st and 15.
Scott's normally a 3-man front. William White steps up, 4-man front right now.
2 minutes in the offensive backfield. They'll fake the handoffs. Martin wants to throw. The left-handed quarterback will throw it downfield. It's going to be dropped. Yep. Hunter Thornton with pressure that time. It was intended for Kyle Sampson. That was Rourke who was defending on the play for the Scots. Get a look at him right there.
Yep, great pressure inside out. You see the replay right here. Hunter Thornton gets quick pressure, shuts down, heads outside. Jack Moore's right there with him. And Connor Martin, the Irving quarterback, just has to unload the ball. He's a lefty, so he can do that very easily going left. But great pressure that time by the Scott defense.
Our replays this quarter brought to you by Origin Bank. Every great relationship has an origin story. Here's William White again on the tackle. That was Benavidez carrying it. He got some help there from Hunter Thornton as well.
And give credit inside to Lewis Montgomery. He's fighting those double teams, and he worked his way out to help on that as well. Lewis Montgomery's been a great story. He was offensive lineman until this year, moved over to defense, and really has found a home at that nose guard.
There's William White. He's played well the last several weeks for Highland Park, that outside linebacker.
He's been impressive.
3rd down and long. Again, they'll go 2 running backs in the backfield. Straight drop back and pressure on the quarterback. He lets go a wobbler, and it's going to be an incomplete pass. Pressure was coming that time from Kyle Carlson and forced the bad pass and forces the Tigers into a punting situation.
Watch Carlson get upfield right there, gets his arm ripped under the offensive tackle. That's the 330-pound tackle. Kyle Carlson not near that big, at least in weight-wise, but he rips under just as Coach Burt teaches him and gets to the quarterback just an instant too late, but puts him on the ground nonetheless.
Managed to punt it away again. He'll stand back at around his own 21. Get a foot into it at about the 23, 24-yard line.
Watch the snap.
Jay Cox will return it if he gets it off. It's going to be a low bouncer. Cox from the 34-yard line. Starts right, comes back left.
Good decision
He's
by
got a
Giese.
crease right there. Got a beautiful block.
Here we go.
And look at Jay Cox up the left side. Jay Cox is going to return this for a touchdown. Jay Cox, the first kick return for a touchdown this season for the Scots.
And great decision by cornerback Wes Giese not to hit it by a guy in the back. You could tell he was zeroing in on one of the Irving guys about to tackle Cox, and Giese smartly pulled off and allowed Cox to do it on his own up the sideline.
63 yards on the punt return for Jay Cox. Here comes the extra point as Tansey steps in. Extra point brought to you by Kensington Vanguard national title. Our thanks to Brett Kennedy and Peter McGuire. The extra point is good, makes it 42-0. And down along the sidelines, let's check in with our Jay Ellis.
Hey, Russell and Jim, I don't know for sure, but I think that Jay Cox probably just set a Highland Park record for most touchdowns in a game. The most I can remember was that state championship game when Matthew Stafford's running back, whose name one of you can remind me of. It's been too long ago, 2005. But that day, the running back had 5 touchdowns, and Jay Cox now has 6, and we're still in the middle of the second quarter.
Our sideline reports tonight for Willow Bend Mortgage. For a way better mortgage, check out Willow Bend. I believe we've got a special guest in the stands with Pat Sauer, and before we kick it off, let's talk to Pat Sauer.
Here at about the 40-yard line, halfway up the stands, I got Misty and Jacob Tansey, and Misty was just commenting on the game. It's 42-0 in the first half. What do you think about Jake's leg?
I'm afraid he's going to be tired after this.
He's doing a great job. You know, how does he handle the pressure? He's been incredible this season.
He's a cool character. He's just been able to, take it one kick at a time, and I don't think anything really riles him up.
He's doing a fantastic job. Thanks for talking to us. All right, good job.
Thank you very much, Pat. Kick goes out of the back of the end zone, so they'll bring it to the 25 as the Tigers continue to try to figure something out on the Highland Park defense. So far, they have not been able to solve Bobby Leidner's defense.
Well, and the defensive front is just hounding them to death. They can't get anything going. They can't get any movement on the defensive front, and that's allowing the linebackers to run all over the field making plays.
Tigers have a total of 4 yards of total offense.
Yeah.
There's a handoff coming to the near side. That's Benavidez. Among those in on the tackle, you've got Ford Hummel in there, and White again is in on the tackle.
William White again, they keep trying to kick him out with that sniffer H-back, and that's a losing proposition right there because he keeps mashing him back into the hole and squeezing down the back where he has no place to run. Then he gets inside out help, and it's a very short gain.
Benavidez will stay in at running back. They'll move that sniffer over to the left side this time. 2 wide receivers. Scott's show blitz. Here it comes. Handoff. Benavidez. Going to get tackled right there by Charlie Barton. And
boy, Barrett Denton was
third down coming.
Here comes Barrett Denton on a safety blitz. He was fixing to nail Connor Martin if he didn't hand the ball off, but he does. And then it's Charlie Barton there to put the big hit. Number 55, Noah Levia is down. Hope he's okay.
Taking a look at him. Our injuries tonight, watching to Dr. Scoville for being part of the telecast tonight. We'll go down to Pat here momentarily. And I believe he's got another parent down there. Oh, he's got a grandfather.
Granddad Tom Rossley. Not yet.
We're going to check in with Pat momentarily.
Here comes the cameraman, and looks like Noah Levia is being helped off the field. While he's doing that, let's see Pat Sauer.
Hey guys, I've got Tom Rossley, grandfather of Tommy Rossley. I guess namesake, huh?
Yeah, that's the namesake.
Yeah. So Tom, if he'd have been at A&M when I was there, I'd have probably played more, right?
I would have put you in.
Hey, Tom, talk about the pressure of watching your grandsons play versus coaching college football.
Well, it's a totally different kind of pressure. It comes from within, from all the other family members, but we're just so happy to be here in this great night and see Highland Park and see Tommy doing well. It's fun. I mean, this is real football.
It really is a lot of fun. Friday Night Lights, right?
Yeah, exactly.
On a Thursday. That's right. Yeah. Well, I do you miss coaching, Tom?
I sure do. I could go down there on the sideline and help Coach Allen if he'd let me, but he didn't want anything to do with me.
I appreciate it, Tom. Thanks for your time, and back to you guys.
Always fun to have parents and grandparents in the stands watching the games. Pass, miscommunication, lots of problems on that one for the Tigers. Incomplete. And fourth down now coming up. Another punting situation. We're going to check in with Mike Maccabee, our statistician, in just a second.
Does he have a mic?
Hey,
Mike has a mic.
Yeah, they got family. Hey, just we've got the 5 touchdowns rushing by Jay Cox. Last time that happened, how about 2011? Preston Miller actually did it twice in that season.
The great Preston Miller.
We also had Jake Felt had 5 touchdowns, 4 rushing and 1 receiving.
Muff punt, and I believe the Tigers got it back.
William White almost blocks that. Scots have been within an eyelash 2 or 3 times tonight between Barrett Denton and William White. Looks like Scott's got it back. Who's at the bottom down there? No, that's
Henry Richter, I believe, got it.
Richter comes up with it. Sometimes you just got to want it more in the bottom of that pile. There's Steele Tobin tries to field it, and Thankfully, Richter comes up with it.
Scots will start again. Really good field position. A night like this, starting at the 50 has not been great field position for him.
No.
Lily. Pass out into the right side. Bo Lilly will move this out almost a full 10 yards for another first down. Omar Castro, leading tackler on this defense for the Tigers. Officially, this goes for 9.
Just a bubble screen out to the right side. Lilly has nobody around him. Easy catch.
2 catches for 45 yards for Bo Lilly. 33, Omar Castro, that inside linebacker, leading tackler. He's only a sophomore.
Here we go.
Long pass. Luke Herring caught it.
No!
Touchdown, Luke Herring.
Well,
wow.
I tell you what.
41 yards.
Luke Herring can go sky high and get the ball. He can also pick it off the shoelaces like he did right there. Brennan Storr just lays it out in front of him, and Luke Herring stretches out on the post route, able to come up with it right at the goal line.
Scots extend their lead out 48-0. And here comes Jake Tansey yet again.
And Steele Tobin holding for Tansey.
Snap. The kick. 49-0. 5.5 minutes to go before we get to halftime.
Let's see if they, here's the replay. Good protection right there. Runs the play action pass. Give him a lot of time. Lead your guy. Let him go get it. Watch that catch by Herring. Beautiful. Comes up with it, cradles it, holds it up. That's
some
point number 41.
That's a great catch. That's also some great camera work by a crew tonight. There's Luke, number 6.
Well, what do you say about this stable of receivers?
That's his 4th touchdown catch of the season. And I believe Jay Ellis is down there. Let's bring Jay into the conversation. Jay?
Hey, I've got 2 former Scots who are now playing for the TCU Horned Frogs. One of them is quarterback Chandler Morris. Chandler, tell us about what you think of watching Brennan Storr play your old role tonight.
He's doing a great job. He's managing the offense, spreading the ball around, getting it to playmakers, and he's doing a really good job.
That's TCU quarterback Chandler Morris, and I've also got TCU wide receiver Drew Scott. Drew, tell us what you think about the Highland Park receivers this year so far.
Look good. High pointing the ball, catching everything that comes their way. Keep it up. Best of luck to them.
Hey, Chandler, they want to hear directly from you. Tell us about your leg.
I'll be good. It's like just a little minor sprain. I'll be back in a couple weeks, so if not next week. So I'm excited. You know, all these Highland Park fans live very near SMU. Can we hope to see you play there in a couple weeks? That's the plan.
There you go.
So what do we say? I know there's pony up. What do we say for TCU? We say
go Frogs.
Go Frogs.
There you go.
Go Frogs.
There you go.
Thank you, Chandler Morris.
Kickoff was returned by Broussard. And the Tigers trying to erase that goose egg from the scoreboard. Handoff.
Nowhere to
right
go.
Back up through the middle.
Nowhere to go. That's a brick wall with Spencer Brown, along with Charlie Barton, Jack Morris. It's tough when you want to be a running team and you're down by this much. It's just very, very difficult.
Flag on the play. Personal foul, face mask against Highland Park.
Did not see that.
He didn't mean to do it.
Yeah, very unintentional.
Should be only 7 yards.
Cut it in half,
yeah.
Right. That defensive line really doing a good job stuffing up the offense. Again, which Montgomery, Carlson, Brown, now Thornton steps up. And there's Tommy Rossley coming in to make that hit.
Benavidez on the carry for the Tigers.
Rossley,
second down from their own 45.
Rossley and Morris getting to roam free.
Not sure what the whistle was.
Procedure on Irving, false start. It's difficult when the official faces the
other
home
way,
side,
yeah.
and we're relegated to the other side.
4.5 minutes played before halftime. See the 5 penalties, 26 yards against the Tigers tonight. Scots have been flagged twice for 20 yards. And did it again? No, timeout's going to be taken. First timeout we've had by either team tonight. And from this point on, we're going to see a lot of, probably for the next 4 minutes, we'll see the starters stay in there. But second half, obviously we expect to see mostly second and third teamers.
Right. And that's, they've earned a right to play too. And, the great thing about it is you find out what you've got down the road. Store's in there now doing a great job, but we need to see Warren Peck. I'd like to see him extended period of time, get him some experience under his belt in case he's needed down the road.
Store, by the way, is 150 yards, puts him over 1,000 for the season now in week number 4. There's a handoff, Benavidez. And coming in there to make the tackle is Spencer Brown. And some help in there from Hunter Thornton. You see right there in the middle of your screen.
Carlson, Judge Ellis getting some playing time at nose guard right now, which is the first time we've seen that. Along with Carlson on one side, Brown on the other, Ellis in the middle. So 3rd and long, that's been his thing.
Tigers just 2 for 9 converting third downs tonight. This will be their 10th time that they've gone for it. They're not going to get it.
Nowhere to go.
Oof. Boy, just not a lot of running room right there. He did stay on his feet, and Broussard did fight his way up for a couple of yards, but Hunter Thornton will finally bring him down. And not much of a gain. Brings 4th down, and yet another punting situation for the Irving Tigers.
I know, even with a 49-0 score, Coach Allen would like to tack one on right before. This is and I believe Steele Tobin is deep, number 85 for the Scots. Steele, very, very fast, talented young receiver.
Here comes the rush. They almost got to it that time. Tobin's going to let it bounce. And this is going to roll all the way down inside the 5-yard line. Oh, now I'm told it's Julian Pham Davis. Is that correct, Jay?
I think it was number 85, if I'm not mistaken. I thought that was Steele Tobin, but maybe wrong. Yeah, it's Steele Tobin.
Am I going to have to separate y'all?
No. I looked down in the sands and saw Tobin's dad, and he goes, yes, that is Steele Tobin. So,
that was, by the way, Patrick Banich just punted that 55 yards. Scots will start with their worst field, the nice spin move, and he's going to get it all the way out near the 9-yard line.
Musa we've been told, is a really great inside runner, pounding. Scots plan to use him when they get in goal line, short yardage situation more. They've not been in that a lot tonight, but it's good to see Musa get some action.
Coming into the game, he only carried the ball 3 times for 4 yards, goes for 6 right there.
But you can see how hard he runs.
Play action this time, the pass incomplete.
Intended for number 19.
Out there for...
That was Max Sloan at the Z spot over on the right side. We got number 18, Colin Hale, at the X on the left. Sloan on the right. Let me see if we can set the rest of the offense.
Highland Park 1 for 1 on 3rd down.
Walker Kashada at the slot.
This is only the 20th offensive play for the Scots.
Brian Rapp in.
Wow. Nice throw right there, and a great catch right there as well. Colin Hale's got some open room. Colin Hale's going to take it out to the 36-yard line. Finally, Niesler comes in to upend him, but a first down for Highland Park.
Great pass right there from Warren Peck. Gives great protection. Stands in the pocket all alone. Hale runs a little stop route, comes back to Peck. Easy pitch and catch, and then picks up another 10 yards.
2 in the backfield as Peck will take the snap. 2-step drop, looks downfield, takes his time, waits for the receiver to come open, and completes it down there around the 47-yard line. Coming up to make the catch is Colin Sewell.
Colin Sewell, who we haven't heard much from, but is a fine young slot receiver. Good block there by Brian Rapp to give Peck time to make that throw, and Sewell with a good catch. Scott's going fast. Here we go.
It's Brian Rapp on the carry for Highland Park.
Scott's in a hurry-up mode because time's running out. 50 seconds in the half. Scott's trying to tack on one more before halftime.
Here we go. This time it's going to be Peck rolling to his left, throws long, intended for Hale. It's going to be over his head. I'm sorry, Sewell, and incomplete. I believe Pat Sowers got another guest. Let's go down into the stands.
On a roll.
Yeah, he's brought to you by Willow Bend Mortgage.
We're at the 40-yard line. We're going to have a busy night. I told Chris, I'm here with Chris Hale, Colin Hale's dad. I told him before the game, we're going to get an interview, maybe 2 with him. What do you think about that first catch of the season for Colin?
A lot of excitement.
I couldn't agree more. You have to be ready to step up when your chance comes. And tonight we're getting a lot of chances to get some playing time and get guys ready.
Absolutely. And isn't it great to see this second tier come on?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Thanks a lot, Chris.
Pass completion out to Max Sloan right there. Scots have a 4th down situation with 24 seconds to play in the quarter. And I believe they're going to go for it right here.
Pat's he's going to have a job at the Academy Awards on the red carpet. Here we go.
Here we go. Peck's going to step up, still looking downfield. Started left, goes back to the right, throws downfield. That's going to be incomplete. Can't quite make the connection with Max Sloan. And Highland Park turns it over on downs.
And Warren Peck showing some good mobility right there to avoid the free rusher. Buy some time. Scrambles out to his right and tries to throw on the run. Causes the pass to be a little errant. You'll see on this replay right here. But watch it. Unblocked defender. And Peck makes him miss. Buys himself enough time to get the ball off.
Defense comes back out onto the field trying to hold on for the next 16 seconds. Highland Park with a very comfortable 49-0 lead. Handoff going right up the middle. Boy, Highland Park's defense.
Yep. Nowhere
they gave a bit of a cushion right there, but once they firmed up, they just didn't let that ball move anymore.
That's a great first half right there.
Don't forget our halftime show tonight brought to you by Madden Securities, global capabilities from people you trust. We have our player profiles coming up, also the Highland Park Bells and the Highland Park Band as well. And our halftime show gets underway.
The customer service is really unparalleled. I've never seen anything like it with any other company.
The emblem, it just says a lot. It means, hey, I bought from Sewell.
They listened to what I had to say and actually cared about my experience.
Every once in a while, you want to be spoiled, and Sewell does that.
It's not just a transaction. That's the thing about Sewell.
I will always drive a Sewell.
Discover our wide variety of new and certified pre-owned vehicles at Sewell Cadillac or SewellCadillac.com.
Determination on the field breeds determination in life. Discipline needed on the court will be the same discipline that gets the job done. That's why Tailwater Capital is a proud supporter of the Highland Park Athletic Program, the winningest athletic program in the state of Texas. 11 Lone Star Cups, 112 state championships, and a commitment to excellence that serves its players for a lifetime. From the locker room to the boardroom, Scots find a way.
With almost 100 offices across the state of Texas and 50 of them in the DFW area alone, Capital Title is here to serve you. Made by Texans, for Texans. Capital Title is the largest independent title company in the United States. We are Dallas-born, Dallas-based, and family-owned. We support the Highland Park Scots.
It's the Baker Brothers replay. Team Baker Brothers really stopped that running toilet in its tracks. No more running toilets.
Now that's what I call a bathroom break.
Okay, Jimmy.
Call now to get this month's great deal from Baker Brothers.
It's the Baker Brothers replay. Team Baker Brothers really stopped that.
Halftime here at Ellis Stadium in Irving, where Highland Park has exploded to a 49-0 lead. Jay Cox with the most of the fireworks, 6 touchdowns in the first half. 5 of those he had out of an offensive set. One of those was a punt return for a touchdown.
Right.
And the Scots with a very comfortable lead. And as you look down on the field, you see the Highland Park marching band. Let's take a look and a listen to them now.
Highland Park High School proudly presents the 2022 Highland Bells. Lieutenants from left to right are Greer Dunstan, Shelby Sides, Addison Renfro, Logan Perrette, and Sophie Bishop. For your halftime entertainment, the Bells will perform a palm routine to I'm Blue.
I'm blue, double D, double die, and double D, double die, double D, double die, and double D, double die, double D, double die, and double D, double die, double D, double die. Double die and double D, double die, double D, double die and double D, double die, double D, double die and double D, double die, double D, double die. I'm blue, double D, double die and double D, double die, double D, double die and double D, double die, double D, double die and double D, double die, double D, double die.
Bank is the proud sponsor of the 2022 team. The Highland Bells are under the direction of Mrs. Shannon Phillips. Associate Director is Mrs. Emily Sanchez. And Assistant Director is Mrs. Brookley Slover.
Well, we are at halftime here at Ellis Stadium in Irving, and Highland Park's up 49-0 on the Irving Tigers. And Jim, you had a chance to catch up with the three Highland Park players, and it's time.
These guys, great young men, had some tremendous things to say. Andrew Maroulis, Brennan Storr, William White had a chance to sit down and visit with them and get their take on where the Scots stand right now and what they need to do to get where they want to be by Game 10. The Highland Park Scots player profile. Each week here at halftime, we'll be joined by 3 or 4 of the Scots' key contributors to hear their thoughts on the season and that week's upcoming opponent. Tonight, as the Scots travel west for a Thursday night matchup with Irving Tigers, we're joined by the midline of the Scots' offensive attack, along with one of the biggest playmakers on the defensive side of the ball. They are center Andrew Maroulis, quarterback Brennan Storr, along with outside linebacker William White. Guys, thanks a lot for being with us. Well, fellas, after 2 very tough non-district wins to start the season, you opened up district play last Friday night by hosting Lake Highlands here at Highlander. At least before the game, a lot was made of the notion that this was the renewal of a old rivalry because of the proximity of the schools. Mm-hmm. Did you guys feel that way because you know people over there, or might go, or was that something just kind of manufactured and you guys, it was just another district game? William, we'll go to you to start.
I'd say we just took it as a district game, one that we knew we had to win because it's like the start of a new season because it's the district. It actually matters now for playoffs. So that at least throughout practice, that's what we put towards it. And like we have some guys who know a few people at Lake Highlands, but we didn't really think of it as like an old rivalry. We more thought of it as just another game. We have to be 1-0 at the end of the day.
Especially the first district game. That
right.
becomes very critical. Brennan, how about you or Andrew? Anybody you know of, new guys over there on that team, or again, was same a little bit more like what William said?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it was kind of a manufactured thing from like the past. I mean, I didn't really feel like it was like a big rivalry. It was a big I mean, there's a lot of people that showed out, so I guess it felt like that in that sense. But as far as the game, I mean, our goal this year is just to approach every game the same and go 1-0 every week. So, even if we are playing a big rival, we're going to treat it the same.
Sure. Well, Andrew, we'll move over to you. Either way, you came away with an impressive 52-21 win that took your season record to 3-0. What was the general feeling in practice last week? This being the first district game, did Coach Allen ratchet up the intensity a little bit, or we'll ask William on the defensive side of the ball, but how about for you guys? Was it any different or pretty much what you've done all along?
No, it was pretty much similar. We take it, like I said, we take every game the same. We've got a lot of leaders on this team, and especially on the offensive side, a lot of returning starters, and we know what's at stake every game, and we put a lot of pride in our practices. We take attention to detail and take every snap, every play for what it's worth, and during practice, make sure the little stuff is fixed. That way, when we get to the big games, it's all second nature to us, and we can just hit it and attack it and have fun with it. So,
all right. Well, you guys obviously have done a great job of that offensively. William, same thing on the defensive side of the ball.
Yes, sir. Very similar. I think everyone carries the same intensity throughout the practice week. I think deep down, everyone's a little more fired up, maybe have a little more enthusiasm, considering it's going to be like the first district home game, and we know the stands are sold out and everything, but pretty much similar approach as any game.
Right. Well, every year when I talk to you guys interviewing, it always comes up how close teams feel to each other. How about you guys? Do you feel a bond that is hard to even explain? Brennan, we'll go to you.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say this year.
You're breaking up just a little bit.
Really, really strong. Strong every year. Oh, okay. I feel like it's strong every year, typically. But this year, it feels different than last year for sure. I mean, I think everyone's pretty close. There's really not. It's not like there's one tight group of seniors and that's it. I mean, everyone's pretty tight. And we all have a good time, and we're all friends with each other. There's no bitterness, no jealousy. I mean, everyone's happy for each other when, we accomplish things, and, not a lot of envy going on, none of that. And, as far as like me and the linemen, we're together pretty much all week, and, they're my brothers all season, and, we've grown really close.
Right. Well, in watching you guys be interviewed after the game, it appears that way, that you guys really genuinely feel that. How about from your standpoint, Andrew? If I'm not mistaken, all 5 of you guys up front are seniors. That's got to help pull you together. And we've got a little bit of a freeze. William, let's go to you real quickly. How about you guys on the defensive side?
I'd say the bond. I mean, the bond you get on the defense side, it's not really something I've like really seen before, because obviously last year as a junior, it's a different standpoint. But now being senior, and almost all of us on defense, the starters are seniors. You just throughout practice and throughout like watching film together and stuff, you get a really good bond. And honestly, it ties the team together. It ties the defense together. And I know I can trust them, and they have my back in everything that I do, and I have their back in everything that they do.
Yeah, it's a great thing to watch, because it seems like every year it grows as the season goes on and on. I'd like to get y'all's thoughts on this. All of you guys got a chance to see the Matthew Stafford Ring of Honor induction ceremony and jersey retirement. Brennan, you even got to be a part of it out there. What are your thoughts after getting to witness, because it was an electric atmosphere, and I know, you guys obviously know of Stafford and what he did here. What was it like to get to experience that? Let's go back to Andrew and try you again. Maybe we can catch you this time. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm joining on my
trying to join on the phone.
If you can, and it'll be better if you let my phone in.
Okay.
To the meeting. Yeah, we should have better connection.
Okay.
Just join on my phone, and we'll be good.
All right.
Would you like me to hop in on that?
Yeah, hop in, William, please, if you would.
Right. Well, I'd say, you hear it from anyone you ask. Everyone talks about the tradition and the culture at Highland Park. And I think it just proves it when an event like that goes down, where someone who's a Super Bowl winning quarterback comes back to their high school because he knows the thousands of people that would love to see him and that really care about him and know that he impacted Highland Park in the way he did, which is really great. So it just upholds the tradition and culture that you always hear about, and you get to see it in real life. It's a really great thing.
Right. And Brennan, I don't know. I think let's see if you can catch me. What was it like for you getting to be out there on the field and be a part of it?
It was really cool. I mean, obviously I hear so much about him, and, he's a legend, and, he's, the real number 7. And it was just cool to be able to get in his presence.
Were you concerned they were going to make you take off your jersey?
No. I mean, to my understanding, last year, he and Coach Allen, said it was okay. So I, got to keep it this year, and I knew they were going to retire it. And I talked to them about that before season started. So when I heard about it, like in the summer, I thought it was weird, but, I'm glad I got to keep it, obviously. So.
Sure. You do realize that you're going to be a trivia question, in about 5 years. They're going to go, who was the last Highland Park player to wear Stafford's retired number 7? And it's going to be Brennan Storr. So you can look forward to that. Let's move over to some individual questions. Andrew, we'll start with you. You got to see some playing time last year as a junior, but you battled some injuries throughout most of the year. Tell us about that and how that refines you, and how you've come out on the other side.
Yeah. So, season over, I'll go back, last spring, Coach Wells and Farnsworth, I never played center. And they were like, we want you to try this. And I was like, I'll take whatever opportunity they gave me. And so, ended up panning good for me. And I didn't find out I was starting till the day before South Lake. So that was a lot. And that was a really cool experience. But in, one of the first drives at South Lake, my shoulder tore, and, I had torn my other shoulder before. So I knew what it was. And, it was really hard for me, but, it was a really cool experience for me in a way, having a bunch of guys trying to help me, and Brennan really helped me with like mentally. Snaps were a hard thing for me at first, and having him in my ear was really helpful, and just knowing that I've got him back there, a lot of good stuff will happen.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a journey for last year.
That is our player profile for tonight. William White, Brennan Storr, and Andrew Maroulis. Again at halftime, 49-0. Highland Park leads Irving. We'll come back, take a look at some of those first half highlights right after this timeout.
In the end, it's not the politician that builds this country. It's the entrepreneur, carrying the world's largest economy on their shoulders, putting Americans back to work. Really, they're the only ones who ever could. We've always been the entrepreneur's bank for the century behind and the century ahead. Vista Bank. Entrepreneurs banking entrepreneurs since 1912.
Attention Highland Park Scots and SMU fans, football is back at Highlander and on the Hilltop. And so is your favorite neighborhood burger joint, Goff's Hamburgers. It's the same burgers, same fries, hot dogs, and chicken you loved as a kid, but now in a brand new location. Goff's is now on Mockingbird between SMU and Central Expressway. Drop in for that unmistakable charcoal grill taste. Host a private party in the back room, or hang out and enjoy the Highland Park and SMU memories hanging on the walls. Goff's Hamburgers, proud supporter of the Highland Park Scots.
Our name, Residential Capital Partners, reflects who we are and how we treat our customers. At Residential Capital Partners, we are dedicated to helping our customers build wealth through real estate. Residential Capital Partners, America's private lender.
Conveniently located between Lovers Lane and University Boulevard on Preston Road. Not Just Soccer is locally owned and has served the Highland Park community for youth sports equipment needs since 1989. Whether you're looking for soccer, football, basketball, baseball, volleyball, or lacrosse equipment, they carry it all, and they take pride with specialists in each sport, and in many circumstances, you'll be helped by a current Highland Park athlete. Go Scots! Our Highland Park player profiles brought to you by Emmy Method.
Me for men.
I think we've got some highlights. As you see, 49-0, our halftime score here at Ellis Stadium. Let's roll those highlights.
There are a lot of them right here.
And most of them are Jay Cox.
Jay Cox.
There's his first touchdown.
What you didn't see is the punt, snap on the ground, and Scots pick it up and get great field position on all these. Jay Cox pounding it again. Good blocking right here. Look at that pitch by Storr to Cox, trots into the end zone.
By the way, if you weren't following the whole thing, Jay Cox runs for 5 touchdowns in the first half.
Look at right there. Will Ogle turn out at left guard. Andrew Maroulis turn in. Huge hole for Jay Cox to run in. When there's not a hole, he makes one. Case Pickleman with the lead block right there. And the option to the corner, and Jay stretches out. Here's a replay of it. Beautiful pitch. Let me get to that pylon, says Jay Cox.
5 rushing touchdowns, and then Highland Park's defense is Jay Cox. Watch him go. And I'm sorry, the punt return.
Good block by Barrett Denton right there to catch the second to last man. William White catches the last man, and Cox has his 6th.
Here's another look at it. Same play.
Watch Giese, number 12, not make that block. And because of that, it's not a block in the back. And then Barrett Denton does make the block. And then William White running down the field along with Kyle Carlson takes him to the end zone.
One more touchdown for the Highland Park Scots. And Luke Herring, watch him stretch out.
What a catch.
A lot of scoring in that first half, but not a lot of offense. Highland Park's offense, their starting field position in 9 drives averaged the opponent's 49-yard line. It's tell you what, we've got some more video to look at, and we'll be ready to get the third quarter underway right after this.
Warnings. Can you feel that? Yeah. It's time to bring the make the ground shake when we come. Come on. Touchdown, J-Town. Come on. He's got it. Touchdown, Highland Park. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, we gon' rain and we gon' shine when it's go time. Go, go, go time. We gon' push it to the limit like it's no lie. When it's go time. Ground shake when we come. Straight down what you gon' go. Make the ground shake when we come through. Let's go. Let's go.
Highland Park Scots something to prove. They have done that in the first half, up 49-0 as we get the third quarter underway. Scots kicked off to open the game, so they will start with the football right here, and Peck will turn and hand it off, and Highland Park start on the ground as Frank Musa makes the first carry of the third quarter for the Scots. And I believe we've got a special guest down there in the stands again. Let's check in with Pat Sauer for Willow Bend Mortgage. Marshall Miller on the catch for Highland Park. That's his first catch of the season. Moved from quarterback to wide receiver.
Scott's offensive
and
line.
17 yards right there.
Nussbaum, Ogle, Pickleman, Watts, and Thompson.
Swing pass out to the right side. That's going to be caught. That's Colin Sewell. And Sewell's going to get stopped about 4 yards out.
My apologies, not Nussbaum. Thank you, Jay Ellis.
Pat Sauer is down there. Let's see if we can go to him and his special guest.
Yeah, hey guys, I've got Craig White, William White's dad, number 11. I want you to talk a little bit about all your buddies that you played with at Highland Park that now have kids that have gotten to grow up together and now playing for the Scots.
Yeah, well, you know the tradition. It's great. Kids grow up, they wear blue and gold, they go to the games, they watch it. I'm now at the age where I've got kids, and I've got some buddies that have kids that played won state championships. It's a lot of fun. There's just great tradition, and it just kind of feeds itself. It's really exciting to be a part of it.
Yeah, I bet you're proud of William, how hard he's worked to get big and get strong and get fast, and he's doing a great job out there.
Well, thanks. He's doing a good job. I'm proud of him, but all these kids are doing a great job. It's a team full of leaders. There's a great run by Frank Musa.
Here we go. Do the play-by-play.
Frank's going to take it in.
Frank Musa.
All right, nice job, Frank.
Frank Musa on the carry, and he does get his first touchdown of the season right there. Frank Musa.
Boy.
40 yards on the touchdown run by number 27.
And Musa was rumbling through the secondary at the second level. Boy, he's rumbling back and forth, and he sees the holes, breaks to it. Very impressive run by Frank Musa.
Musa's touchdown brought to you by Bob Lilly Promotions. They've been supporting Highland Park sports since 1999. Here's Tansy with the PAT. It's up and on the way, and it is good. 56-0 now, Highland Park. And
check that replay here in just a minute.
PAT for Kensington Vanguard.
Warren Peck on the zone dive to Musa. Look at him break to the secondary and then find open field back to the left. Then cuts back again. Gets caught at the goal line, but not before he gets the pay dirt.
Somebody got a hand on his jersey, nearly stretched it out.
Yeah.
Origin Bank brings you this highlight. Let's check in with Jay Ellis down on the sideline as you see Frank coming off the field right there. Jay?
It's fun to watch
watch Frank Musa do that. I've been watching him for a long time. Frank has always been the kid with more tenacity than anybody else in this grade or on this team. I recall back at the YMCA, even though Frank doesn't have long legs and he's not built like a distance runner, he would win those races in the 400 or the 800 just because he wanted it more than anyone. And as you can see on that play, taking the ball to the end zone, he was not going to take no for an answer. He was not going to stop. And that determination is also why Frank is such a successful lacrosse player, as well as a fantastic running back for the Highland Park Scots.
With the kickoff, it's going to be taken at the 22-yard line. It's going to be brought back out to near the 30-yard line. This is Williams on the return. And for the first time here in the third quarter, we'll see the Highland Park defense back out onto the field.
And set the personnel. I'm sure we're seeing several backups in. Number 67, I see right now. That's Carter Noonan in at the defensive end. Nose guard is number 93. That's Blake Andrews. Turner is the defensive end, the sophomore. Daniel Turner, whose granddad was head basketball coach and athletic director at Highland Park.
Handoff right there as Tigers keep it on the ground. Benavidez, first carry of the third quarter.
Let's continue trying to set this for you. Number 98, William Suarez in at linebacker. Sam Webster and Morse on the inside backers. Outside backer the other way is number 90, Alex Prowse.
Here we go. Handoff up the middle. Highland Park's going to slow it down after about a 3-yard pickup by Benavidez. Carter Noonan in to make the tackle. Secondary, you've got Matt Wallace has come in at nose guard for Highland Park.
Number 54 is Daniel Turner, yes.
Two running backs in the backfield this time for the Tigers from their own 35-yard line. Not a whole lot there.
Well,
and again, that's going to be Benavidez on the carry.
Tigers are Coach David Munoz for Irving trying to shorten this game, continue to run the ball despite the fact they're down 56-0, trying to shorten it and get this over with, which is to his credit.
Calebson taking the ball tonight.
It's a good one there.
Is that Steele back there to do the return chores? No, it is not.
No. That is 88.
Here's a nice pickup.
Julian Pham Davis, who we were looking for in the first half. We finally get him in the second half.
Thought he was wearing 85 earlier, but he's in 88 right there. You see him walking, running back over to the sideline.
Steele Tobin in 85, and he'll be doing some holding for extra points in the second half.
39 yards on the punt. Highland Park take over at their own 25-yard line. And again, Warren Peck is in at quarterback.
Nussbaum, Ogle, Pickelman, Watts, and Thompson, the offensive line.
Three wide receivers to the bottom of your screen. Fake the handoff. Peck was going to keep it himself, and he pays the price. Just not anything there. And second down after a loss of 1 on the play.
Receivers out here. 87 is Ted Higgins, along with Sewell and Walker Kashada.
Here we go on second down and 11. Set up in a empty set formation. Throw comes to the near side. Catch is going to be made by Sewell, and he'll stretch it out to the 30. Cage Williams on the tackle.
Brings up third down.
7 yards on the pass completion right there. Coming into the game, Peck was he had completed all 3 of his passes.
He's got a cannon for an arm, I'll tell you that.
Again out of the gun. Looks downfield, throws. It's going to be behind the receiver, incomplete.
That's Wayne McCullough. If you see 86 out there for the Scots, either now or 20 years ago or 40 years ago, it's a McCullough.
It's McCullough?
Yes, the McCulloughs love that number 86.
Only the second punt tonight that Highland Park has had to perform. It's going to be Tansey to punt it away. Boy, that was almost blocked. Not the best punt. Doesn't go as far as you would want it to go, but it's going to be down right there at about the 49-yard line. Coming up to down it for the Scots.
Richter, 97?
I believe it was. Mm-hmm. No, it was 57.
57. That is Jack Morris.
Scots go back on defense. Tigers will get the ball back midfield. 4:24 to go third quarter. Highland Park will be off next week. And then 2 weeks, they've got that meeting with Jesuit.
Showdown with Jesuit at Highlander.
Play action. They'll throw off to the left side. They were trying to set up a screen pass out there to Iden Hills, but it's over his head and incomplete.
We generally ask the kids, what game, they're all important, but what game do you have circled? And as a tip of the hat, we've got to play one at a time, but a lot of them, Jesuit, they've been looking forward to this. Bragging rights for the tollway.
There you go. Second down and 10. Again, 2 in the backfield. They'll give it.
Carter Noonan.
No place to go. Noonan's there to hug him and bring him down right at the 50-yard line. That's going to go as a no-gainer.
Along with help from
Jack Morris.
Jack Morris.
They've been all over the place, haven't they?
Yeah, Morris. He's just one of those kids that has a sixth sense of where the ball is and where it's going. Gives him a step head start that he shouldn't get, but he gets it. Sam Webster inside along with Morris. Got William Suarez to one side, Alex Prouse to the other, outside backers.
Third down and 10. Passing situation right here. Long pass by Connor Martin. That's going to be way over the intended receiver, Kyle Sampson. That was Burt that was defending on the play.
My mistake, Russell. That was Preston Bond. My mistake. Well, maybe it was Burt. Yep, that was Burt. I was right there.
Kick for the second time. How many punts is this now for the Tigers?
There we go.
Oh, he's not going to get it off.
Once again,
they had problems on the long snap.
Well, and again, that's what makes it tough. You're trying to change the culture. You got to find a snapper who can get the ball back there and a punter who catches it, but that one was low again. Punter can't come up with it. Highland Park punter had a low snap, did come up with it. Irving cannot, and it cost him again.
Replays this quarter brought to you 9-yard line of the Tigers.
Same set for the offensive line. Number 42 in the backfield, Brian Rapp with Warren Peck. Here's a draw.
Peck with the draw play right up the middle, and he'll get the first down.
Now, he's tough to bring down as well. Hope he's okay.
It's going to be a little slow to get up right there.
They wrenched his back. I'm not sure.
Here we're going to get a look at it right here. Right up the middle, kind of finds his way, and he came down.
He immediately grabs his head, so I wonder if he hit the head on the turf, if not the helmet of the tackler.
He may have gotten between two of the players and gotten his head kind of crunched right there. As we watch this and hope that everything's going to be okay, we'd like to also thank Dr. Field Scoville at Carroll Clinic for being a part of our telecast tonight. Dr. Field Scoville is an orthopedic surgeon, fellowship trained in sports medicine. He brings you our injury updates. 381 total yards of offense for Highland Park. 147 rushing yards, 234 passing yards for Highland Park, 381 yards of total offense.
12 yards.
12 yards of total offense for Irving. Wow.
That's something the defense can hang their hat on.
Pat say he's got somebody down there? Or does not have somebody? Jay. Let's go down to Jay Ellis. I believe he's got somebody down there to talk to. Jay, take it away.
So this is a rough moment because they're looking at Warren Peck. A lot of coaches down there. First of all, a lot of people in the stands praying that he'll be all right. He's moving now, which is great. But I think they were having him move his fingers a little bit first to make sure. But he's up. He's sitting up now, so that's great news. My understanding is that Ethan Berde, number 16, is warming up to maybe take a few snaps at quarterback when Warren comes out. And my trusty sideline assistant, Owen Marie, has told me that Ethan has been here how many years, Owen? You know Ethan? Tell us a little bit about Ethan as a quarterback.
All right, well, Ethan as a quarterback, it's kind of a JT Daniels situation. He's got that sort of look to him. He's got that style. And he actually came here from California, believe it or not. He's actually going to be the starter at California. He's actually thinking about moving back to his old high school to go start, but ended up sticking it out with Highland Park, and it's going to be really interesting to see what he brings to the table. Right, guys?
All right, Ethan.
How's that for a
All
report?
right. Hey, we got some good interns, don't we? Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
They
Way to
don't
go.
just eat wings. They can actually talk football.
There you go.
Way to go, Owen. Hopefully Owen will have a weekly report starting at the Jesuit game of other sports, the Scott's Minute.
Here's Berde, his first pass of his Highland Park varsity career. It's complete out on the far side, and they'll turn it up and take it.
That's Colin Patrick on the reception.
Nice catch by Colin. Nice run after he made the catch. And tell you what, Berde's pass right there, kind of sidearm, but had some zing on it.
He got it there. You kind of had to have sidearm because he's getting quick pressure, got popped, nevertheless threw it.
Ball's going to move all the way down to the 16-yard line. First down for the Scots. Snap it back. Berde looks to the left side this time. It's going to be caught. And again,
there we go.
It's going to go out there to Colin Patrick. And Colin Patrick's down to the 6-yard line.
If it works one way, come back, let's go the other way. Nice, safe little pass for a quarterback coming into the game a little bit cold.
Another first down for the Scots as we get another look at it right here.
Yep.
Brought to you by Henry S. Miller.
Scott's knocking on the door once again.
First and goal to go.
Be great to see these backups get themselves a touchdown.
From the 6-yard line.
Rapp in the backfield.
Berde from the gun. Turns, hands it up. Ryan Rapp trying to get into the end zone, though.
Well, there was a hole.
Opened up, and then he got caught from behind.
There was a hole there by Pickleman, Ogle, and Jake Watts is the right guard, if I'm not mistaken.
Rashawn Daniels, the guy who caught him, he was defensive end.
That
should take us to the end of the third quarter. Scots will go into the fourth quarter, up 56-0.
And knocking on the door again.
Clock rolls down to triple zeros, and we have finished 3 quarters of play. And Highland Park up 56-0. I think we've got a commercial break coming up right here, so let's take a timeout. We'll return to Ellis Stadium for more Scots football in just a moment.
The customer service is really unparalleled. I've never seen anything like it with any other company.
The emblem, it just says a lot. It means, hey, I bought from Sewell.
They listened to what I had to say and actually cared about my experience.
Every once in a while, you want to be spoiled, and Sewell does that.
It's not just a transaction. That's the thing about Sewell.
I will always drive a Sewell.
Discover our wide variety of new and certified pre-owned vehicles at Sewell Cadillac or SewellCadillac.com.
Determination on the field breeds determination in life. Discipline needed on the court will be the same discipline that gets the job done. That's why Tailwater Capital is a proud supporter of the Highland Park Athletic Program, the winningest athletic program in the state of Texas. 11 Lone Star Cups, 112 state championships, and a commitment to excellence that serves its players for a lifetime, from the locker room to the boardroom. Scots find a way.
Oh!
First play of the fourth quarter, and that is going to be a penalty on the defense. Brian Rapp has his helmet ripped off. Luckily, he's okay.
Well, that's one of those ones that needs to be double the penalty because he didn't pull off at all and almost took Brian Rapp's head off.
Penalty is going to be called against Jeremiah Johnson.
Wow, that's dangerous, and we're thankful Brian's obviously okay. Could have been really a lot worse. Let's look at the replay here. Watch.
Boy, you're going to get
stretch play comes to the right. Watch. Hello.
Woo.
Don't think it was intentional, but pretty dangerous.
It's one of those scary situations right there. Here we go. Still first and goal to go with the ball down at the 3-yard line for Highland Park. Verde turns, hands it off. This is Frank Musa. He's got a touchdown. Frank, our touchdown brought to you by Bob Lilly Promotions.
Good job. Kick out block by Brian Rapp. His buddy in the backfield runs right behind Will Ogle at left guard, Pickelman at center, and Jake Watts at right guard.
Our extra points brought to you by Brett Kennedy and Peter McGuire. Our thanks to them and all the good folks at Kensington Vanguard National Title. This is Josh Baines coming on to tack on the extra point this time. And that extra point is good. Let's check in with Pat Sauer because he is emphatic that he has a guest. And so, Pat, take it away.
Hey, guys, I've got Alex and Nicole Richter, number 97's parents. They just met tonight. But anyway, hey, guys, tell me what you think about this D-line for the Scots.
Oh, they're stout. We've got 6 solid guys that are interchangeable and just go get after it.
They're doing a great job. How often do they come eat dinner at the house?
They've only been over once, our house. But next week, I think I'm making steak for them. It's what actually Jesuit week is what Henry's already made the reservation.
I met her. We met her last week.
Russell Scott wants to know if he can come to dinner too.
Steak night.
Hey,
what about Grandma?
Guys. Sorry.
Here we go.
I guess they're done. Thank you, Pat. We appreciate it.
Pat, when it's time to go, he goes.
Kickoff brought to you by Davidson Bogle Real Estate, and this one is just going to get into the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 25.
And that's a good sign when your kicker can squib kick it and it still make the end zone.
11 minutes to play in this one. Highland Park's going to add another victory to it for Coach Randy Allen. This will be number 428 as he continues to try to catch up with Phil Danaher, who's at 484.
And tomorrow night in the District 7 6A, Lake Highlands host Jesuit. So
that's going to be a big game.
That'll be a big game. I'll be there.
Ben Salter and Sam Webster come in at linebacker for the Scots. Quarterback's going to keep it around the side this time, and he's got a first down. That's the biggest offensive play of the night for the Tigers. Preston Bond finally wrestles him to the turf. There's number 21 right there who made the tackle. 24 yards on the run by the Tigers quarterback.
Here we go.
First down and 10 from their own 49-yard line. The Tigers will scrimmage now.
Hunter Martin still a quarterback.
Handed off, and it's going to be Jabrian Broussard. And he'll pick up about 4 yards. Let's go down to Pat Sauer for a sideline report brought to you by Willow Bend Mortgage.
Hey, guys, I've got the 2 women here that basically run the Bells and run the marketing for the Bells and for our program. Introduce yourselves, please.
Hi, I'm Lori Schultz. Hi, I'm Shannon Phillips, and I'm the Bell Director.
Okay, Jason Petty says they are killing it in terms of getting the word out on our broadcast and getting us lots of viewers. Talk a little bit about that, Lori.
Well, it's pretty easy. When you have such an incredible dance team to support the Highland Park football team, it's pretty easy to showcase them online and in our website and throughout the community.
We appreciate them. These are some of the hardest working kids at Highland Park. They're there early every day, and they're working hard, and they do a phenomenal job on Thursday and Friday night. Thanks, guys.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Pat. Boy, how about that play by Daniel Turner just a moment ago?
Daniel Turner, he's going to be a good one. He's a reason he's playing as a sophomore.
Tigers just 2 for 12 on third down conversion tries. There's the pitch. It hits the turf. I believe the Tigers covered it. And did they call it? No, it is going to be a foul, a fumble.
Is it a fumble or incomplete pass? May have been forward.
Well, they did. I think they did call it an incomplete pass is what they called it. But either way, the ball was going to be put at the same position on the field.
Same result.
Yeah.
Here we go. Another adventure in punting for Irving.
Let's see what happens this time. It's going to be
good snap.
This time, best punt of the night maybe for him. One bounce, and it's going to be picked up. And his feet taken out from under him. So Highland Park return man stopped right there at about the 11-yard line.
I think that was Kashada. His jersey was rolled up, so I'm not quite sure, but I believe it was Walker. Julian Pham Davis, my mistake.
Julian Pham Davis was 88.
88, thought it was 80.
8:38 to play in our football game. Don't forget, during post-game show tonight, we'll have our offensive and defensive players of the game. I can bet who maybe one of our offensive players might be tonight.
You just got back from Vegas. You're just feeling lucky.
Exactly. I was not lucky there. Jay Cox, in case you missed it, had 6 touchdowns in the first half for the Highland Park. 5 of those on the ground. He returned a punt for a touchdown as well. Quarterback keeper goes around left side this time. And again, that's Bearday.
Bearday with
who stays in at quarterback for the Scots.
Nice tough run over the left side. Getting some help from Nussbaum and Will Ogle over there.
It's going to be a 9-yard pickup. Gives the Scots 2nd down and 1. Likely keep it on the ground and keep that clock moving.
There's a stretch.
Handoff.
Oh.
In trouble.
Brian Rapp.
Rapp trying to find a seam over there, and he can't find one, and it's going to be a loss on the play. There's some pretty good defense being played right there by the Tigers. Rashawn Daniel finally gets across there and makes the tackle.
It's kind of a little hitch in that play. It didn't. The handoff wasn't particularly clean, and it allowed Irving to recover.
Loss of 7 on the play for Highland Park's offense. Long 3rd down coming up right here. Scots are 2 for 4 converting 3rd downs tonight. Bearday will throw on the run as a receiver, and he's converted.
That's Walker Kashada.
Kashada
right
gets out to the 22, and I may have spoken too soon. Nope, he did get the 1st down.
That's great. Great the first 3rd down conversion for Bearday. Bearday, that's a tough throw. You're a right-handed quarterback sprinting hard to your left. Got to get your upper body whipped all the way around to really deliver the ball accurately, and Bearday does just that.
1st down for Highland Park. They're going to put the football down at the 22-yard line as we play here in the 4th quarter. Bearday to throw, comes near side. Caught. And Sewell will get out for about a 3-yard pickup. Bearday now 4 pass attempts, 4 completions, and 34 yards.
McCullough. Kashada out there as well.
Here we go. 4 wide receivers. Bearday calls for the ball. Sets back. He had pressure coming on him, and the ball is tipped by Victor Cantarero.
Irving
and that's an incomplete pass. First incompletion tonight by Ethan Verde.
Yeah, unblocked, inside blitzing linebacker that time, coming right into Verde's face, and does a good job of standing in there. Takes guts when you know you're going to get hit, but you stand in there and make the throw anyway.
3 receivers there at the top of your screen go wide left, and the option play comes to the narrow side of the field. Pitchback made. Brian Rapp steps out of bounds. He got kind of close in there. There was not a lot of running room. Get a good look at it right here, though.
Yep, right there on the sideline.
Let's quickly go down to the sideline. I believe that Pat has Frank Moose's parents down there. Pat?
I have Frank and Mary Musa. Just in case you're wondering, this is Frank Moose's parents. And he's got 2 touchdowns and 51 yards tonight. One of those was a long of like 31, right, Mike? I don't know. But anyway, what did you think about the night, and how excited are you for this season?
We are super excited. We are elated, and it's a beautiful night, and go Scots.
Great football night. Hey, how hard does Frank work in the offseason to get ready to play for the Scots?
Frank works all year long in sports, trying to juggle his schedule. And, it's just a blessing to be a part of this program and seeing some of the boys he's played with since
Good job.
There they are right there.
Thanks,
now
guys.
we get a shot.
41-yard punt right there. Tigers be set up at their 41-yard line. Ball came loose.
Ball's loose.
And I believe, no, they're going to say he was down already, so it's not going to be a fumble.
Tucker Pogue in on that play.
Loss of 2, second down 12.
Pogue at outside backer. Inside down lineman, we got Ryan Yates. We got Matthias Zacharias. And number 96, Matthew Wallace, of the front line for the Scots. Webster. And Salter in at backers.
New quarterback in there for the Tigers. Frederick Webb comes in, turns and hands it off. David Perez. Nice little stutter step move as he gets it for 4 yards.
Coming up to make that hit is Hank Scorporal.
That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 8. Ball at the 43-yard line. Henry S. Miller brings you this replay. Nice little move right there, but then nice gang tackle made by Highland Park. Led in there by Justin Johns. Handed off, no place to go. How about that defense? And they look good right there. Coming in on the tackle for the Scots, Noah Lilly. Big number 56 right there on your screen. Fourth down. Another punting situation. Let's see what's going to happen right here. They have had their issues, the Tigers had, with their snaps.
I think that's an understatement. it's never the same.
Got a nice one that time, but it's going to be a short, high kick, and it'll take a Highland Park bounce down at the 39-yard line. 2 minutes and 3 seconds to go in this one.
Well, Scots get a week off after this one to get ready for the second half of district play, but they have been extremely sharp. They love to use it to get people healthy and to go over fundamentals. But then they come back on September 30th with a huge game against Jesuit.
Highland Park offense has already rolled up 423 yards. Wow. Verde on the carry.
Should be a horse collar.
We'll get it out to almost the 49-yard line. It's going to be enough for a first down.
Good lead block by Will Ogle there, the left guard for Highland Park. He pulls, gets up on the linebacker. And Rapp gets a mini horse collar.
22 first downs, 10 yards on that. So Highland Park's got 433 yards of total offense. Irving has 39 yards of total offense. There's Brian Rapp again. It's his. So the Scots will be off next week. Chance to get everybody's bumps and bruises all healed up. Give everybody a little bit of a break.
Scots have been fortunate as for where they're, it's kind of random where your bye week falls. And like Irving had one the first district week last week, which probably didn't do them a lot of good. But the Scots get it prior to Jesuit, and after the first 4 games, you can't ask for a much better bye week for where to show up.
That's going to wrap it up. They're going to shake hands as the clock will tick down to 0, and Highland Park is going to go to 4-0 on the season. The Tigers will fall to 1-2 on the season. They've got a tough one next week against Jesuit. Highland Park will be off next week. And coming up, we'll have our post-game show brought to you by Burger House, official burger of Highland Park Scots. We'll hear from our offensive and defensive players of the game. We'll talk a little bit about our special teams player of the game, who could also be our offensive player of the game as well. I got a suspicion.
Might be doubling up.
And we'll hear from head coach Randy Allen coming up next as well. Again, our final score, Scots over Irving, 63-0. Post-game show starts right after this.
With almost 100 offices across the state of Texas and 50 of them in the DFW area alone, Capital Title is here to serve you. Made by Texans, for Texans. Capital Title is the largest independent title company in the United States. We are Dallas-born, Dallas-based, and family-owned. We support the Highland Parks.
It's the Baker Brothers replay. Team Baker Brothers really stopped that running toilet in its tracks. No more running toilets.
Now that's what I call a bathroom break.
Okay, Jimmy.
Call now to get this month's great deal from Baker Brothers.
It's the Baker Brothers replay. Team Baker Brothers really stopped that running toilet in its tracks. No more running toilets.
Now that's what I call a bathroom break.
Okay, Jimmy.
Call now to get this month's great deal from Baker Brothers.
I'm stealing that line. From now on, when you say something, I'm going to say, okay,
Jimmy.
Big night. I'll stop coughing and laughing here in just a second. Scots win it big tonight, 63-0 final score. First time Highland Park scored in over 60 points in, I'm trying to think when the last.
20, none there either.
Sulphur Springs playoff game a couple of years, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. But again, and the Scots really got out to a big lead early in this one. Tigers just didn't have anything defensively that they could do. Scots pretty much picked them apart. And on top of that, the punting was not so good for the Tigers, and that gave Highland Park great field position on almost every one of their drives in the first half. And, suddenly it was 49-0 at halftime.
Well, it's not like they say, kind of Irving dug their own grave by not being able to execute the punt. And Scots celebrate down on the sideline. But, Irving will be better, but they weren't. They had their troubles tonight. No thanks a lot to the Scots and how they played.
I believe we've got some highlights we're going to go to before we head down and hear from head coach Randy Allen.
Should I guess that Jay Cox is in any of them?
Well, these are second half highlights. These are second half highlights.
Is that Musa?
It's Warren Peck who is in there handing off to Frank Musa.
Boy, Musa, he looks stout and solid and looks like he could run over some people.
Well, and he's got a little bit of speed in there as well.
Yep, and he's compact. I see why the coaches say he's a great inside runner and goal line runner.
Had a couple of touchdowns right there, and Highland Park goes inside again.
Doesn't have to run over anybody there, but he's willing to.
Frank Musa doing a nice job. Got a lot of playing time in the third quarter. We'll hear from head coach Randy Allen momentarily. He is speaking to his team right now. And we'll get head coach Randy Allen. Mike McAbee tells me he's right here. Oh, here he is.
Pat Sauer, where are you?
I think we're going to hear from head coach Randy Allen. They try to get the... He's talking to a couple of parents down there. Let's send it back down to the post-game show with head coach Randy Allen. Here's Jay Ellis.
He just announced he's ready. Coach Allen had a chance to talk with his wife, Carolyn, before he came over here to celebrate the victory. Hey, Coach Allen, your offense started out strong. Almost every handoff was a touchdown, and almost every pass was a long game or a touchdown. Tell us about how your offense executed tonight against Irving.
I thought we did well. I mean, we scored every possession. We had the ball at this point, and, we go into an open date, and we're pretty healthy. We're going to get some guys back, and then we have a big game with Jesuit after that. So it's right where we want to be, 4-0, and pretty healthy and getting ready for another.
He had 6 in. Yeah, ball said about him and his versatility and kind of what he brings for you guys.
He made a great punt return. I know that, but I mean, he's a playmaker, and we get the ball to him in space, or he'll break a tackle, and he just got a knack. Finn Corwin had a knack for scoring, Mr. Touchdown, we used to call him, and I guess Jay's got that same knack. But we're really proud of him, and of course he couldn't do it without his teammates and some good blocking. But he's a really good ball player, and that was a great punt return. I don't know if I've seen many guys reverse their field and go 80 yards for a touchdown.
Coach, your defense had an equally strong night tonight, stopping Irving, of course, every possession with an interception, and your special teams got the ball back in addition to that punt return, stopped them before they could punt a couple times. Tell us about how you've come to depend on this defense to continue to make the plays you're asking them to make.
Well, I mean, I think our defense, we had 2 starters coming back. And so every game we get with experience, our guys are going to get better. And this would them out. And our second defense did a great job as well. And then we got some third-team guys in there as well. But I think they're getting better. And we've seen some outstanding competition the first 3 weeks. And so our guys had a night where we could kind of rest them after a half and get a lot of people in the game.
Coach Allen, of course, the outline typically is let's talk about your offense, let's talk about your defense, and let's talk about your special teams, because the guys that are putting their foot on the ball are doing a great job. The guys that are covering those kicks and punts are doing a great job. Remind us, the way you remind your team, how important that phase is and what a great job those guys are doing, please.
Well, we've been perfect on our extra points, and that's Judge Ellis snapping, that's Jay Cox holding, and that's Jake Tansey kicking. And then our kickoffs tonight, we moved up a guy from the JV team, Rigas, to do our kickoffs. He kicked off 4 or 5 in the end zone. So that part of our game is really solid. Our punt snaps, Brady Daltrey's our punt snapper, and he's doing a fine job. And, of course, Tansey's doing a good job punting. We're doing a good job of covering. And we hadn't had a chance to have a good kickoff return, but we're getting good field position. Our guys are doing a good job of fielding the ball. But our kicking game's getting better, and, of course, field position is a big part of the game, and we're doing a good job of having positive field position.
Coach Allen, final question. Going into the bye, tell us a little bit about how this week may be a little bit different for what your team does this week before the following week when Jesuit will come to Highland Stadium.
Well, this is a week where if you're injured or you got some bumps and bruises, we can rest you and get you well. But it's a week of fundamentals, and each coach will make a list of 3 things they want to improve on. We'll have an 18-segment practice Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Let them go Friday. A lot of them are going on college visits on Friday and Saturday. So this is a time to kind of recharge and get our motor running, but it's also a time to add some things and put some new wrinkles in and evaluate our football team after 4 weeks and see where we can improve.
Coach Allen, congratulations on a great win. Go celebrate with your team, and we'll celebrate with a few of the players of the game.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Coach.
Head coach Randy Allen right there as he picks up the win with his team and going to 4-0 on the season. Head coach Randy Allen now 428 victories, 92 losses, and 6 ties.
Now get that straight, because we don't want to have a wrong number up there.
That was that's an impressive record. And I believe we've got one of our players of the game down there right now. And it looks like an offensive player of the game. And are brought to you by Tolson Wealth Management. They provide support for all kinds of people and a proud supporter of the Highland Park Scots. Jay, take it away.
I've got one of our offensive players of the game with me, Frank Musa. Frank playing running back, 2 rushing touchdowns tonight. Mike, if you can feed me his yards, 51 yards, leading rusher as well. Frank, tell us how great it is to get the opportunity to get your hands on the ball and do what you do so well.
You know, it was awesome being out on the field tonight in this atmosphere, you know, but I got to give all the credit to the linemen. You know, they do all the dirty work for me. I just take care of the ball, and it was awesome just to see that open field and, you know, have that great run.
Hey, Frank, on that long run, you're right. The line did a great job of getting you open, but you had to juke a few guys. You had to cut back behind a couple guys, and then you had guys tearing at the back of your jersey illegally as you went across the goal line with that horse collar. But just tell us about your determination. When you got to about the 15, there were still about 4 guys that had a chance to tackle you. What was going through your mind, and how'd you find your way to the end zone?
You know, I saw a few guys coming in. You know, we do a lot of work during the summer, so all that work has paid off. You know, juking, breaking tackles, being in the weight room, you know, all that work is just paying off, and it's so great to see everybody just making big plays.
Frank, you mentioned juking. I know you're probably the most talented spinner of our runners. I've seen you spin out of tackles your entire life. I also saw you doing something during the touchdown song over here afterwards, a little foot dance. You want to show us? You can show the whole world right now. Show us just a little bit. Come. Rossi was doing it too. Rossi, come help him. Come here. Real quick. You're on live, right? Come here. I got Tommy Rossi. I saw both of you guys doing it was some this thing. Come on. Hey, and that's one of the other great secrets of Highland Park football is the fun these guys have. They work harder than anybody, but they also have more fun. Frank Musa, I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you, and everybody saw tonight what you can do, and I know we're going to be seeing a lot more of it.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations, Frank Musa, offensive player of the game. Let me see Andrew Maroulis. He's my other offensive player of the game. I've got center and senior Andrew Maroulis. Andrew. Frank was talking all about the play of the offensive line. You're our player of the game tonight on the offensive line, not just tonight, but you've had a fantastic season. We've had such great play. It's hard to get all you guys, and you've deserved it just about every week. But tell us a little bit about the battle up front early on and how y'all set the tone tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's really easy when you got those guys back there, and we just do our job, and every day is the same in practice. It doesn't matter who we're playing, who we're going against. We're going to give our same effort, same intention, and we got the same guys, and we'll put our guys out there, our best 11 out there, and they put their 11 best out there, and we'll give it all we got, and that's what happened tonight. So,
hey, Andrew, on the left side of the line, we've got a tackle, Petty, who has a lot of experience playing on the varsity. In the middle of the line, we've got you with a lot of experience, and the others are playing great, but this is their first season to really get that action. Tell me a little bit about how much you work with them and how much you help them and they help you.
Yes, sir. I mean, I'll start with the right side of Sweeney. I mean, obviously he had the setback last spring with the ACL injury, and that was really tough for him and for us just because we know what he was going through and how much potential he has. And we just see him getting better every day, every week, and that's a really cool experience. And then at Basso, he may not be the biggest, but he's a dog, and he gets all the same work as we do, and he's a really good technician, and his IQ is really high. And then same with Jake, IQ is really high. He knows what he's doing. And interior, the three of us interior, we worked really good together, and our chemistry's gotten really good. And it's really special when you got 5 seniors out there, so that really helps chemistry.
Absolutely. Last question for you as my offensive lineman of the week and of the game. Tell us a little bit about what bye week looks like. You've been through it before. We know the routine's a little bit different, but how do you guys sort of handle and balance the more relaxed nature of it and some of the fun with still staying focused?
Yeah, totally. We're 4-0 right now, and our next intention is Jesuit, and we're 1-0 right now. That's our goal for next week. So, I mean, next week we're just take it day by day. We're got some people out that we need to get healthy. We need everybody healthy for Jesuit. It's gonna be a big game, big stands, big crowd. But just take every day one by one and get better, because we know our potential and we haven't unlocked it yet, and we're far from it. But we're at a really good point right now. So just keep working on small stuff, and it'll all come together in the end. So.
Awesome. Hey, Andrew Maroulis, we found that centers seem to always be the best speakers on the team, and it looks like we found it again this year.
Thank you.
It's fun talking to you, and I know we'll be talking a lot. Congratulations on a great game and a great first 4 games.
Thank you.
Andrew Maroulis, he's our offensive lineman of the game. Before I go defense, let me have my special teams player of the game. What football program in the world has a guy rush the ball 6 times for 5 touchdowns, but he ends up the special teams player of the game? Hold on, they've got
Our special teams player of the game is brought to you by Mark Clifton Homes, trusted builder of exceptional homes. Now you can talk to him.
There you go.
Thank you. I've got special teams player of the game, Jay Cox. I remember he had as you said, a punt return touchdown. Did you play otherwise, Jay, tonight? Just kidding. Let me ask you a real question. Hey, so tell us about what led to you getting in the end zone. Your first, I think, 5 touches of the game on handoffs. What was it that was happening up front that made it so you could make those touchdowns?
The O-line really took initiative this game, and they, they just kind of took over, and a lot of them were just walk-in touchdowns. So I have to thank, put all the glory to them, because I wouldn't have been able to.
Next is the game that are equally important, and you had a great play on a punt return. Tell us how that one happened.
It was actually kind of a funny story. So I caught the punt, and I went right, and I was talking to Ballard before, and he was like, just act like you're going one way and then switch and go the other way. And so I went right, and I didn't see anything, so I flipped back around and came back left, and I had a couple good blocks, and I was in the touchdown. So
I think there's a lesson in there. The lesson is always do what Ballard says, right?
Yes. He will never get you in trouble.
No, he'll never get you in trouble, that's for sure. Hey, you're our special teams player of the week. We're excited to see you have that success on offense as well. Rest up this week. Continue to lead this team, and we'll see you again soon. Congratulations, Jay Cox.
Thank you so much.
Now I've got the defensive players of the game.
Play of the game as well, brought to you by Riddell Plumbing, home of honesty, quality, great customer service, and a proud supporter of the Highland Park Scots. Our play of the game brought to you by Riddell Plumbing. Let's get to our defensive players of the game now, brought to you by HP Youth Football.
A trio.
Preparing tomorrow's Scots today.
This is going to be fun. Tommy Rossley, inside linebacker, asked if they could go together. And Tommy, tell the viewers why you all wanted to go together.
Well, here on defense, it's just different. We just build a bond together. We always want to be with each other. We're just like that. We just build a bond like that.
That's awesome. So Tommy, we'll start with you. Inside linebacker, you made a lot of tackles tonight. I know there've been a few games where you haven't gotten to play this year. First, tell us about your health and also how exciting it is to now be full-time and back on the field.
Well, it really feels great being back on my feet. First couple games, first game actually, I had a mid-ankle sprain, and then I was just coming back from it, just doing everything I could, being with my teammates, hyping them up whenever they made plays. And then I was back in the second game, and then I was just getting my confidence up. I got to play with Robert Ramey, awesome player, and that game was really special. It was my first game out there, being out there with all my friends that I've built such a bond with just over the summer. And then now that I'm really on my feet doing everything, it just feels great.
Hey, Tommy, your answer had a lot to do with relationships with these players. There are other special relationships as well, and one that I really love about Highland Park football this year is one of the grandparents that's here at every game, and that's your grandfather, Coach Rossley. Tell us what it means to get to have him at the games and how much you all communicated just about football and the bond you've built over it.
Oh, it's awesome. He's very, very humble, and he's the nicest person I've ever met. But having him come out here, it's like having an in-town celebrity. Just come out and watch your games. He's been to all the biggest games, and he's here giving me all the attention. It's awesome.
Hey, Tommy, I'm so glad to hear it from you. I see it every week, but it's fun to get to hear it from you. Tommy Rossley is our inside linebacker of the week. We've got 2 other defensive players of the week, and I'm going to move over here and talk with Kyle Carlson. Kyle, man, you got tall. I coached this kid when he was not tall. Hey, Kyle, playing defensive end, you're just wreaking havoc this year. All year, I told Maroulis earlier that he could have been offensive lineman of the game every week. You could have been defensive lineman every week. But this week you are, and you're making a lot of tackles. Tell us how intense it is out there every play when you put your hand on the ground and get ready to attack?
Well, it's a lot more fun because I moved from OB to defensive end thanks to Coach Burt, and I think it's a lot better fit. I get to make contact and be physical every single play. I love the intensity of being in the trenches. I love, getting to go against competition, and it's just for me personally, I feel like rushing off the edge and blitzing a lot more is better suited for me as a player. So I think it was a better move. Last year I played nose, which was also fun, but I think defensive end's a little bit more like it. So.
Hey, Kyle, I look at all three of you guys. I know all three of you got your start playing at the YMCA. This is the 100th year of Highland Park football, and that's been such a big part of the success, how you guys all learn to play football, how you learn to be friends, how you learn to be competitors. Tell us sort of what that experience has been for you and how you've looked toward these years where you were going to be the guy like you are now, making these big plays in the varsity games.
Well, looking up to a bunch of people, like I looked up to Prince, and I looked up to, even Curtis, when I was a freshman. I heard of a sophomore that was making kinds of plays on varsity. And just looking up to those guys, they really set the example and what it meant to be a Scot and what it meant to be a competitor. And it always gives you motivation to just constantly be evaluating. And, like sometimes I remember I tried to copy one of Curtis's moves. I think it was against Marcus. And I couldn't really do it as well as him, but it's just fun to think about those guys, and you try to live up to what they do. So a lot of tradition here.
Awesome. Hey, Kyle, the last thing, defensive linemen almost always are trying to put on weight in the offseason. You're a lot bigger than you were last year. Tell us what that was like and the success you've had in becoming this big bad defensive end.
Well, one of the goals going into the summer was to put on 20 to 25 pounds. I got sick like the first week of summer, and I dropped all the way down to about 179. I was really, really low, and then I managed to get up to 210, and then I managed to roll around to 215 to 220 and fluctuate between that, and that was about my heaviest. And with that, I had to make sure that I didn't just throw on and shovel on as much weight as possible without maintaining speed. So I had to cut down stuff like my 5'10", 40, all that sort of stuff, and I have great guys help me do that, and I love doing it every day in the summer with my friends at PC that also helped motivate me, and it was just a great energy around doing it. So those guys made it easy for me, just being around them and getting a chance to get better with them.
Hey, Kyle, it's great to hear this. There are young kids watching. They want to be Scots someday, and to hear from guys like you how to do it, you all know the model. You're our defensive lineman of the game. I'm proud of you. I've known you a while. I'm going to talk to you a lot more this year. Congratulations, and let's talk to Hunter Thornton. This is another one. Hunter Thornton has been playing a lot at outside linebacker all year. You've got three guys playing most of the snaps at two spots. Tell me what it's like working with and competing with William and Charlie and the other guys there.
It's an awesome thing we have at outside linebacker to have three guys pushing each other, as well as like the entire OB core. We're just pushing each other, and it's we have a really fun friendship, and it just pushes each other. We push each other to be great, and it's an awesome dynamic we have.
Tell us who coaches the outside backers, and what's the relationship you guys have with him.
So it's Coach Leckleitner, and after spring ball, and he's really adapting to us and really trying his best, and we're trying our best, and it's really an awesome relationship we're building, and we're continuing to build it.
Hunter, you're another one of the ones I know well here. I probably made a big mistake when I didn't bring you in to do the dance. I bet you would have done it even more enthusiastically on camera than Ross Lee and Musa, but I'm not going to put you on the spot this time, but be ready next time.
Yeah.
Hey, so now that you all have won this game, you've got 2 weeks. Tell us a little bit about what this week will be like. You've been through it before as well, but and by the way, I'm getting a sign that you all got to go. So answer that one, and then I'm going to let everybody go.
So heading into bye week, we're just going to rest up and prepare for Jesuit, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Hunter T-Bone Thornton, congratulations. Congratulations, guys. Great game, and they're saying upstairs, get on the bus. I think you got a little time, but not a lot. See you guys, and that concludes our player interviews.
Jay, I thought you were going to pitch a tent.
Thank you very much, Jay Ellis, with our post-game player and Coach Allen interviews. And Mike Maccabee, our statistician, is here. And Mike, they're gonna run us out of here as well. 63-0, the final score. Let's take a look at our stats. Brought to you by Park Cities YMCA.
Not sure if we're going to have them. Yeah, looks like we're going to get them on the screen here.
A graphic, maybe.
There we go.
You
All right. So as you can guess, in a 63-0 ball game, all the stats are heavily lopsided towards the Scots tonight. 431 yards of total offense, broken down to 163 yards on the ground to just 34 on the ground for the Tigers. 268 yards in the air, including Brendan Storr going over 1,000 yards for the season. For the Tigers, tough night in the air. 14 attempts, 5 yards in the air, 14 out of 3, and an interception for the Tigers. Then for the Scots, of course, 22 first downs, just 4 on the night for the Tigers. They did have 2 turnovers, an interception, and a fumble lost. And the time of possession, there's the fun one. It doesn't take long to score. The average position for the Scots taking over the ball at their own 44 over the course of the game. And of course, in the first half, they actually took the ball in Irving territory overall on an average. So the time of possession, 18:30 to 29:30. Just wanted to highlight a couple of the top individuals. Of course, we had Frank Musa with our leading rusher, 4 carries for 51 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jay Cox, of course, had the 5 touchdowns on 6 carries. And then the leading receiver tonight, the leading number of catches, Colin Sewell had 4 catches for 30 yards, and Bo Lilly had 2 catches for 42 yards. Just a reminder, your game summary stats are brought to you by Park Cities YMCA, where the Scots get their start on the way to athleticism.
How impressive is that, though, that the Scott defense holds this team to 39 yards
exactly
total.
Right,
34 carries for 34 yards.
And the offense, and again, we highlighted special teams during the interviews, but the number of punts, the number of punt returns, they were getting a chance to do the returns, still not getting a lot of chances to get kickoff returns. That's just the way the game is played now. But overall, it was a game against an Irving high school team that's going to struggle this year. But when you get a chance to click, you got
click tonight. And again, Jay Cox, outstanding night with 5 rushing touchdowns and a punt return for a touchdown. The first return touchdown for the Scots this season, either kicking or punting. And it was decided really at the end of the first quarter. This one was pretty much over.
We've been expecting him to break out on a punt return, and sure enough tonight he did, after listening to Ballard.
So now get a week off, and then it doesn't get any easier when you come back, because you get that big game against Jesuit at Highlander Stadium, and that's going to be another one where we're likely to have a sellout.
That's going to be something. If you have not been to any games this year, you need to be at that Jesuit game, because it'll be the battle of the tollway between the Jesuit Rangers and Highland Park Scots, and something you don't want to miss.
That's going to wrap it up for our Burger House post-game show. Our thanks to Burger House for being a part of this. They are the official burger of Highland Park Scots. For Jim Castellaw, I'm Russell Scott. Again, our final score, Scots win it big here in Irving tonight, 63-0. For now, good night and God bless.